Hello, everyone. It is us.
Hello.
We are Sans Jason.
Just temporarily.
Temporarily.
He should be here soon. I don't think his call will take too long.
Yeah. He was here, ready to go.
He was. He was waiting.
Prepped. He got in here before I did.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
Philip came and stole him away.
Yeah, we can blame Phil.
Yeah, we did.
New guy
we
Phil.
Blame Phil.
Came in, was like, hey, you got a thing you got to do. Jason was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, that thing. You gotta, like, call someone. Jason was like, dang it, I gotta do that.
I better do that right now. It's kind of important.
Yeah. Fortunately, unfortunately, it's important. It's a good thing, but it is a necessary thing. Anyways, how are y'all doing? I hope you guys are having a great Friday's Eve.
Paint Liquor, Lumberjack Tim, Panic Bomb Arcade,
Mike
Montelongo.
Montelongo.
Hello, everyone.
Got to take my go bag on a work trip this week. It was a dream. That's dope. We are going to continue painting a horse and its rider. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that, chat. We're doing it.
This is all part of the same...
Tip at a time. Yeah.
Same
these guys all...
or whatever. Yeah, they match the shields.
Similar motifs going on.
Still liking the new color scheme.
Yeah, I like the color scheme. Yeah. It is a lot of work to paint these guys. Even without the non-metallic metal.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're getting there. We're making it happen.
Tim, today feels like Tuesday. I assume that's better than feeling like a Monday? Hopefully?
Hi, Tim. Doing a little bit of highlights on this here. Hopper. You have anything fun planned for the weekend, Jen? Any fancy restaurants to go to?
We have not
for the remainder of restaurant
even
week?
Discussed it.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
It's okay. I'm probably not going to do anything for restaurant week. Bummer. Next time. I'll be more prepared. It won't be right after a show.
Tomorrow's gonna feel like Friday.
It's because tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is in fact Friday.
Hello.
Hello? Mo. Hi.
It's all about the PMA.
It's all about that PMA. Oh my gosh. One of my old coworkers used to say that all the time. He'd walk in and be like, how's your PMA this morning? He used to drive one of our other coworkers nuts. She hated it.
How about my NMA?
She was also one of those, like, dreary...
Doom and gloom,
doom and gloom
bad.
Types. Yeah. It's like her vibe.
Yeah.
Very doom and gloom.
Paint Liquor's discovered something.
That was fast. Or maybe not.
Something he likes painting less than eyes, sculpted eyelids.
Those are pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. They're not super fun.
Oh, he's right here. What are you talking about?
He's back.
He's been here the whole
time. He's back
time.
from the past.
You just weren't paying attention.
Hi.
Hello.
I was here before the show started.
He was. We
then I got notified I had a
that.
phone call. So
We did tell them that.
I had to
We were very proud of you.
take my phone call.
Hello, Kara. Hello, T. Schmidt. Hello, everybody. Many painting people here to have a good time. on such a fine Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Yep.
Oh my God.
I thought yesterday was Thursday. When
Did you?
Yeah. When I don't know why. When Ruben left, I was like, "Enjoy your spaghetti." He's like, "I will. That's tomorrow, though."
That's
That's so
sounds
Ruben.
like, yeah.
By the way.
I'm like, "Oh man."
I will, but that's tomorrow. And he did it with a smile on his face, too. He goes, oh, I definitely will tomorrow, because it's not today.
Yeah.
Ding that. Yeah, that's totally Ruben.
Gotta love me some Ruben. You guys got to have lunch with him today.
We did. Ruben, our very, very first employee.
We
Today
invented
is-
a new thing for him today.
Yes. We
That
set
now
a
we
new,
have to
a
carry
new
on for everyone
precedent.
else, so we set a precedent today.
We took Ruben was today was his 3-year anniversary. So he started working for us 3 years ago today. He's been here pretty much every day since then. I mean, not weekends. We don't make him come in on.
Has he taken a sick day?
I don't think he's taken a sick day. He's taken his vacation days, but I don't.
I literally
think he's
don't think
taken
the
a
guy's
sick
taken a
day.
sick day.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
Can I get his immune system?
So Jason, when
He's
I
just
said
dedicated.
he's super
I mean, I
dedicated,
guess.
he's hardworking.
That's true.
When I said to Jason, I'm like, well, it's Ruben's anniversary. We should take him to lunch, and then he said, well, are we then gonna is this gonna be a thing now? Are we gonna take everyone to lunch on their anniversary? And I said we could just 3 years is fine. Like if someone wants to work for us for 3 years, I'll
we
buy
can
him lunch.
we could take.
If somebody can put up with us for 3 years,
I can take him
they
lunch.
win.
But then we added to it today with Ruben. We said 5 years, we'll take you to dinner.
He's like, I'll see you in 2 more years.
Yeah. Like start picking.
He said that was
start
incentive
thinking
to
of your
stay.
place.
That's what he said.
You what?
He said that was an incentive to stay.
Yeah, yeah.
We get dinner, yay!
Ruben's so much fun. Good people.
Tim went through a doom and gloom spat for a few weeks, hoping things are turning around. I hope so too, Tim. Doom and gloom is not fun. T. Schmidt said, hi, I'm T. Schmidt, and I have a problem. I'm addicted to plastic crack and buy more than I can paint.
Welcome to everybody else. who
Well,
also
as a
has that same
segue to that problem,
Oh, what? What is that?
as a segue to T. Schmidt's inability to stay away from more plastic crack, and
Here's some
because I
plastic
haven't been
crack.
able to resist showing you new crap all week long, chat. How about this? This is a test print for
That's funny. Mike Montalongo has been traveling and using his go bag.
Did he say that his hotel people replaced his water?
Yes!
Wait, really?
Yeah.
They took his gross paint water bottle that was in the
What?
go bag.
They
and
gave him a
put
fresh water
put him
bottle.
a brand new.
Oh
They're
my
like,
gosh.
nobody can drink this.
What hotels do you go to? I need to stay at these hotels.
T. Schmidt, when you place an order at checkout, there's a place where you can add a note. Just put a note on there saying, you know, if you know which one you want, you can say that. Or you can say, I have these. You can list the ones you already have and say, please send me something different. But you can for sure put a note on the order asking for a specific sticker for sure. T. Schmidt said that's gorgeous. Mo's Magic. Oh, I want that now. Now I says liquor. So how do I get one?
You mean this one?
Yeah.
This is the one. That's mine.
One of the bottles that you keep over there.
Yeah, because it's mine.
You don't. There's nothing yours.
I bought that one.
He's like you. He's been hanging out with you too much. This is mine.
Oh,
You bought this?
Yeah,
what? If you bought it, why is it here?
Why is it in my office then?
because I was using it to prime my own stuff the other day.
That's not how it works.
Do you need me to get you a bottle of primer?
You don't have to use your own paint to prime models in this office.
If there's stuff that not for work, it was stuff I did after work. I mean, if you want me to use paint for free, I'm down. Say no more.
Freaking
I don't mind paying for things that I use outside of the work environment. Because I also like to support the company that I happen to work for.
Oh, here he goes.
Because you guys are awesome.
Here he goes,
We
Jen.
are awesome and deserve the support whenever it can be given.
Here he goes, chat.
Hey, this is why you keep me around. I'm a positive ball of energy.
You're something.
Paint Liquor said going to be a long 2.5
You're
years
something.
for that anniversary lunch.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time before Jordan's anniversary lunch.
I haven't even had the 60-day.
P. Schmidt,
Talk
that
to you.
old cat is new guy Phil.
Talk to her. She schedules that stuff.
New guy Phil gave Ski the stickers. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. What's
He
up?
said to talk to you.
About what?
The 60-day.
Oh.
6 months later.
Here, I'm doing it right now. Do it right now. Calendar.
It's technically only for hourly employees.
Oh, well then don't put me on there.
Oh, we gave Gabe one, so now we got to
took
do one
Gabe,
for you.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do breakfast or lunch?
Lunch.
Lunch?
Yeah, we do lunch.
Breakfast is easier.
He gets to
More
choose between
availability.
McDonald's or Burger King. We're going to learn a lot
then-
about him.
Then
No,
breakfast.
because it won't be. I mean, because we
Sure.
can only do lunches on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're booked for the next couple of Tuesdays and
If
Thursdays.
you choose breakfast, you get IHOP as a choice as well.
Oh, okay.
So McDonald's, Burger King, or
Breakfast.
IHOP.
See, Gabe went to breakfast. We took Gabe to
Say
breakfast.
second breakfast.
What's today? Today is the 14th. Okay.
This thing's actually kind of heavy.
I mean, it's a big old solid block of resin.
Yeah, it is.
And, yep. That tracks.
A little heavy. Not gonna lie.
I mean, we could make it even heavier if you want.
Well, like drill a hole in it and put metal.
Yeah.
No,
Put some lead in there
that doesn't make any. Why would we do that?
because it's heavy.
We can do next Thursday.
Why would? What is wrong with you?
Bundle of fun
Don't start. Don't
chaos.
start. Don't start.
together forever.
Bundle of fun, chaos. This wicked combination of nonsense called Jordan.
It's great. I'm just saying.
It's great.
It's great. Just live a day in my life once in a while.
I think you're biased. I'm just gonna go out on a limb.
What do you mean? I'm the most unbiased person that could possibly be biased.
I don't agree.
It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
You know how many chat? You know how many times I hear "It's okay, you're allowed to be wrong" in the course of my day when dealing with this man?
Not very often. It's been a
All
while
of
since I've
them.
said it.
All of the interactions.
It is one of my favorite catchphrases.
It is. It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
Mo said blah blah blah. We want to know what the model fuse has.
Let's use it for cool painting. What are all models used for? This is I talked to you about these, chat, Mo, a while back. We were coming out with a line of what are internally being called texture trainers that are models that I've designed and that we've had sculpted to, as painters, give us great ways to practice various textures and lighting and all that kind of stuff. So
Said he
this
was-
is
said he was
numero
probably ignoring
uno
you.
in that long list of, well, it's not very long, it's only 4, but this is the first one. And this is literally the first test print that came out reasonable. And Brennan would probably kill me if he knew I was painting it live on stream. But I'm doing it anyway.
should
'cause
Why
I don't
know
is he
care.
better.
not? Is he not happy with it?
Huh?
Is he not happy?
Oh, he is not happy with this at all.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He was almost embarrassed, I think, to hand it to me. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll paint that.
It looks great. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is awesome.
I don't
I'm a
see anything
freaking
wrong with
heathen,
it.
man. I don't care. I don't care. It's great. The back and the underside and things, if we were selling them and presenting them to customers, had some marring because some of the 3D supports touched
Yeah,
the
I saw
model.
the-
So there were
on the
some
back.
lines and things like that in there. But those are easy fixes, so I'm confident that we'll get it here in the next week or so with the print.
Yeah.
And get everything cleaned up and get the process down. But I think we've decided that we will probably issue them as 3D prints, as long as we can get the whole process repeatable internally. Then we should be able to keep the price very low, which is our main goal with these, is to be able to have you buy 2 or 3, even of the same one, for practicing. Or if you're a teacher and doing classes, you'll be able to get them bulk so that you can do classes. And have them not cost like a normal bust and not be as scary as a normal bust to paint. Because for a lot of people, that transition to bust painting is really difficult because the scale goes up, so it's a little daunting, a little intimidating. But then also, there's just so much more you have to do, you know? And so these models don't have a back. I know it sounds silly, but as doing them as cameos, they become very easy to focus on the important bits, get the story told, and have the model done. And the joke of, oh, who paints the back of their models, you know, can kind of be true.
Hey, Jordan, did you get a second email from Deathspawn?
Yes. Yeah, I have not had a chance to go over it. But that from what I have seen, I don't know what's going on with this bottle of coal black. Very weird.
Coal black?
Yeah.
What were you saying the problem was?
It looks like he has transparent black.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he, it's just, well, it's not transparent black. It doesn't. It's like if you took coal black, you emptied half of it out, and you poured water into the other half.
That's probably what he did.
Yeah. He's just messing with us.
Probably what he did. Nuisance.
Nuisance.
We
Cause
used to
a
do
problem.
that when I was a teenager. Me and Heather used to do that with her parents' liquor.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
really?
would cut the alcohol with water. Except you didn't dump
we took
the
all the
alcohol.
clear
Well, you dumped it
alcohols.
right into your gullet.
We took the clear liquors and would pour some out and replace it with water.
That's actually hilarious.
And the funny thing is, if you go back and...
You didn't
and
do that, Jordan?
No.
If you go back and talk to their parents, they're like, we knew it all along.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
It's like you weren't getting away with anything.
I remember I was a goody two shoes.
I was too, but I mean,
Except you did that.
it's peppermint schnapps. Easy. Tim used to see. Tim knows.
I don't think I was ever really a big prank kid.
Huh?
I don't think I was ever really a big prank kid.
No.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't really
I
either.
wasn't a
There were
big
some
prank.
times, like with
Somebody
really good
likes us.
friends, like I had a friend that left over April Fools one year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went in because I knew, and his parents, you know, relied on me to like go feed their dog and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I went into the house and rearranged all the furniture. Like
Oh
I
my
moved all
gosh.
the furniture.
That's amazing.
Like we moved
That's
the
awesome.
master bedroom furniture into another room, and like it was like somebody else was living in the house.
That's crazy.
And his dad never spoke to me again.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
really?
never spoke to me. His dad was ex-military
Oh.
and was not into pranks.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
And so when they got home, even though I went back over there and with
Put it
him
all back.
laughing and having a good time, but he was not laughing as much because his dad, like,
was pissed.
Yikes.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
never allowed to use the key to get into their house again.
Oh.
It was like this whole breach of trust issue
Yeah.
that as a kid was a good learning experience for me. I should have asked.
Yeah.
I should have asked permission because it wasn't his parents I was trying to get.
Right.
It was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jafar, thank you for the follow and the sub.
Whoa. Follow sub?
Yeah.
A
One
little bit
right
of
after
column
the
A, a
other.
little bit of column B. I like it. Welcome.
This is tremendous. Like the print quality on this is tremendous.
I think it looks great.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. A couple of Mars spots where there was like a support that shouldn't have been, that he'll get cleaned up. But on the front, the part we care about, fantastic. You know, the back and underside on these is for you to determine how you want to do it. It just has the M emblazoned on the back, but it's not really meant to do anything. I are a big fan.
Jade, we finally convinced you to follow, huh?
Oh, dang.
Thank you. Like, all right, I've been coming around enough.
You guys
I
seem
can follow
alright.
it. I guess they're okay.
Well, thank you, Jade.
Mo says he was probably ignoring me.
Yeah,
at
I
the time.
said that. I don't think you heard me. The bust on the left, that's what we're talking about. That's Jade, it's totally fine. Is a test print from one of our new texture trainers?
Yes.
Texture trainer.
We may change the name. That's
Yeah,
what
we
we're
might-
calling them internally.
It's not super jazzy. I mean, it is kind of, but it's very
It's
straightforward. Maybe we'll come up with a cool name. But yeah, it's a just the front. It's like a cameo, so it's like a.
It's
Oh.
cameo. It's like a coin. It's got
Yeah.
a little bit more depth, right? But the back is really not intended to be painted. I mean, obviously we have a little bit of detail on the hand and the hilt of the axe on this one, and then the back of the axe blade. But it's really intended to be something that you can focus on as a student of painting, whether you're doing it on your own as a practice piece. It gives you a really good way to tackle larger pieces where you can find your way around textures. Each one of these will be a different, we'll have a sci-fi one. The next one that we're working on is a sci-fi male. This kind of fantasy female gives you flesh, lots of different leathers. The way it's presented, leather straps, hardened leather armor, metals in the form of the shoulder plate, armbands, obviously the axe head if you'd like to do, but the axe head also has some texture in it, so you could do it as stone if you wanted. Hair, fur, she has fur around her neck, right? Cloth in the cloak that comes out the back, as well as leather on the bag or cloth on the bag as you choose. Just various things that I've wanted to make sure that we had a lot to play with. The only thing that really wouldn't show up on a model like this is like plastic. And then you could do the handle of the dagger in wood. You can do the haft of the axe in wood. So there's unique ways to go through and spend time practicing how you would do all of those various textures. And then it's going to be priced low enough and easy enough to acquire that you should be able to, without really feeling bad, prime over it and paint it again if you want to practice something else, or buy more. So.
Yeah, I have to doubt that is the goal of them, is to have a good variety.
That's the whole point.
Yep.
Yeah, literally the whole point.
Despawn said we should call them flat but busty.
I have actually.
Flat busties.
Flat busties.
I have a really interesting idea conceptually for the name. I don't know exactly what I would call it given this concept, but like maybe a play on, like, oftentimes with monuments, they're statues of something. Be cool to like call them like some sort of statue riff with monument related thing.
Yeah. I like the Academy token, Academy coin, things like that. Because it is just on the back, I already put her down, but it just has the monument M, and it's a 75 millimeter circle. So, it's like a 75 millimeter base, and or 65 millimeter base. I think it wound up being, right? 65. Let's see. What do I know that I got here that's on a 65 millimeter base? This guy, right? So it's a 65 millimeter base, right? So really good size, very workable. It also gives us one of our other ulterior motives with it is that it gives us a really good way to do painting competitions. A lot of people have asked us to be able to do painting competitions, and so now we can say, hey, get your texture trainer, and at Adepticon we can just have all the texture trainers lined up for people that have painted, and because it's the same model and we wouldn't allow alterations to the model, it's just paint skill. And it's easy to judge, and it's easy for people to see the variation from model to model, to see whose techniques really dialed in, where others might be loose, and show you. Just like when Jordan and I painted Horus, right? And you get a feel for how two artists tackle the same exact subject matter. But on that one being three-dimensional, there's almost too much to look at. This was meant to be something where you see everything in one take. You don't have to rotate the model. You're going to get all of your shading, all of your lighting, all of your story in just painting the front here. And you'll be able to then, feel a lot more confident going and tackling a whole model like Shinobi or, your large Tyranid character. If you're painting a larger model, this is great until you have to start doing this. And painting everything in 360 degrees. And it seems silly, but that really is the thing that keeps a lot of people from wanting to paint busts. It's just too much. And keeping that whole thing cohesive in such a large platform. So here you go. This is my solution for it.
Someone asked, I want to say it was Mo, to ask about mind work. Yes. Mo would like to know if we're getting any of the new Mineworks stuff in from last month's and this month's release.
I would love to be able to tell you yes. That is our hope. We'll keep you updated. We will keep you updated.
Yeah, you could make these into magnets. Put a magnet on the back, and it could
Yeah,
be
you
like a
can
magnet.
drill magnets,
on a,
put them on your refrigerator. Yeah. My thought process was that they would hang really nice on the wall or be able to be placed really neat. They're also large enough on the bottom that you could do a post and put them on a plinth if you need. But yeah, the idea was that we could make them really fun.
Just want some busty coins. I'm so good at this.
Despawn, what the heck? Doing Despawn things.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys are excited about it.
Yes.
They're going to be a lot of fun.
I've already marked out the wall where they go. Bring them on, baby.
Bring them on, baby.
Love the enthusiasm, Mo. Especially because you don't even know what the other ones are going to look like.
True.
Putting a lot of faith in you.
As they should.
And your creativity.
As they should.
Ooh, that'd be neat. In a little shadow box. That'd be kind of...
You guys love my death spawn things. Love is such a harsh word.
Accept? That's a word.
Love is a
Oh,
strong
paint liquor. Yeah, international stuff is rough sometimes.
Like international shipping?
Yeah. He's got a Mineworks package that's been in the Netherlands for over a month.
Yep, that sounds about right. Gotta love international shipping. It's the bane of all of our existences.
Yeah.
Not really. I just don't order anything from over there.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Very easy to avoid.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. It's very easy.
It's really easy when you just don't do it.
Yeah.
That thing that you don't like,
Just don't
that's
do it.
annoying to deal with,
Stop doing it.
yeah, you just don't do it.
It hurts when you go like that. Don't do that.
Yeah. I've definitely gotten that one before. My arm hurts. Well, stop touching your arm.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt so much if you just stopped touching it.
It hurts
my
when I
kid
do
doctor,
this. Don't
right?
do
I
that.
don't know if he was my family doctor. I don't know if you'd still call him a pediatrician because he worked with everybody, adults and everything. But my family doctor used to tell me that. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But it hurts, so don't do that. Back when you could get away with being that way,
Yeah.
and nobody really gave you crap about it. This, and then I want some burnt red.
Burnt red.
Yellow green. Yeah, I mean, if it's a trainer, we're gonna paint like we're training. Do the fancy things. Do some underpainting. Some overpainting. That's why he stopped going to school for psychology. Why? Because people were telling you don't do that. You've seen me do if you haven't seen me do underpainting, for those of you who have, right? I usually start in the darkened areas with purples.
I'm gonna put it on one painter.
Sure.
I usually start in the darkened areas with purple. Then we go into reds around the flush areas of the cheeks. This is the kind of the easy layman's way of thinking about how flesh tones carry color underneath. In the cool areas towards the shadows, bottom of the chin, purples and dark blues work really well. Obviously, I tend to not let as much of the purple show. Maybe it's not obvious. Maybe I shouldn't say it that way. I tend to not let as much of the purple show for women as I do for men, because women don't, of course, get 5 o'clock shadow very often. And so you would leave more of the cool color showing across the chin area if you wanted to recreate that kind of feel of stubble and things like that. So
I love that you said women don't get 5 o'clock shadow very often.
Well, they don't, but they do. They can. Menopause is a crazy thing. You got to know all that stuff.
Tim, I'm a little worried about you driving and watching the stream at the same time. Please just listen.
You don't have to really worry about blending too much.
And Jay, do you guys love them, I hope? They got their go bags today.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Go bag is a great thing. Temples, red, a little bit of pinch of red right above the bridge of the nose. Leave purple joining the eyes, purple around the eye sockets. Right. Then yellow-green.
Revikara would like to know, when you prime straight black, do you use glazes for the underpainting or straight from the bottle?
Straight from the bottle. I'm not, as you can see, I'm getting pretty good coverage straight out of the bottle. The places where it looks dark is where I've wet blended the purple in, because I put the purple on pretty heavy so that I could wet blend the red into it, but you don't have to do that. That's just my personal preference. You'll see the same thing happen here with the burnt red a little bit along the brow. Right, where I can still get enough of that red interacting with the green to give us a little bit of a blend up there.
Wait, you have to wait until Christmas to use your bags?
They were Christmas presents.
I know that I remember them saying that. She said that they were Christmas presents to each other, but I thought that would just be like an early Christmas present, and then you would just wouldn't open anything on
Some
Christmas.
people are serious about that whole Christmas thing.
Yeah. Put them away and maybe forget about it until then. I would be dying to use it. Zoe and Sean's dad. Hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
This is a Christmas household, said Chuck. Awesome. Yeah, I'm way too impatient. Jason is for sure impatient.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I hear
I'd
you
be
like to.
He would
Like, you
never
wanna
get
see what I
something
got you for
that
next
this
year's
early.
Christmas?
Yeah, he would not ever be able to get something, even like now is way too early. Schmid said, Fuse, I picked up a Lord of Plagues for our monthly store competition. I'm going to steal your gross greenish flesh style.
Cool.
Do it.
That I was just doing on Asmodan? This time? I think that looks great.
Oh, it's also a Halloween household.
Ooh. Scary.
My mom would buy things throughout the year and put them away for Christmas and then forget about them.
Ah, you'd find them years later.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's this in the closet? Oh.
I would
that
get
was
something.
mint.
She'd hand me something in like February. Oh, yeah, this was for Christmas.
You're not allowed to look at it, but you can open it at Christmas time.
And that's kind of just a good progressive of what the skin looks like underneath, right? Now, if you were to actually flay a human, it wouldn't look like that. So, you know, but it gives you a good way
don't test
to
that.
introduce color underneath. because in our cool areas, like the neck would normally have a lot more red, but because it's in shadow here, because she's got her head tilted over it, we have the hair and everything else that will be shading the skin under there. I didn't do any red on the neck, but we have red along the flush areas of the cheek, bridge of the nose, bottom of the nose, ball of the nose, at the temples, right? And then back to the ears. And then that yellow green gives you that kind of sunlit skin feel across the forehead and bridge of the nose, right? Maybe some on the top of the lip. That won't survive. Anywhere, the reason why you don't really want to blend as much as I've done here is because you won't catch those nuances through the flesh tones that you put on unless you do really, really thin glazes, which I'm going to show you here. We'll start in with advanced flesh tone.
You hear that? Color's really good.
Hipster Gumby, you can never do what? Oh, the Christmas thing?
Yeah.
Like hold on to the
Hold on
present
to
until much
something.
later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, that's not me. I don't like getting gifts, I like giving them, and I'm horrible at it. Like, hey, I got you something, you want it? What's it for? Christmas?
Then no,
exactly
I don't
how he
want it
says
until
it,
Christmas.
too.
Well, when Christmas comes along, you just think about that cool thing I gave you.
Yeah.
Right? That's how that works,
That's
right?
like what Tim said. My mom used to buy us things in July and tell us to remember it when Christmas comes.
I mean, if you
Remember
got
that thing I
something
bought you
cool,
in
why do I have
July?
to
That
wait
was
until a
Christmas.
date to get something cool? If it's cool, it's cooler now than
Yeah.
it is 3 months from now. Come on. Humans are so silly.
Yep.
Stuff is meant to be enjoyed. I agree.
I'm horrible for gifts because I'm always like, if I know there's something I want, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait for Christmas. What's that about?
One, it's like you wait to maybe get it at Christmas.
I don't want to tell people like, well, hey, would you like to have something fun? Yes, I bought it already. Thanks. I did want something fun. That's why I ordered it yesterday. You got a Christmas gift present for your wife sitting in your closet? Better hope she didn't watch the stream secretly trying to figure out what it is you do all day. All right. The magic sauce.
The secret sauce.
Glaze and wash medium. You don't normally see me use a lot of this in this way, but I'm going to.
I was like, wait a second.
I'm going to because we're using a training model. We're gonna use it full on. This my model's empty. My bottle
It
of
seems-
glazed wash medium is
seems
totally
empty.
empty though.
Running out.
Mine is not doing so hot either, to be honest with you.
About 10 to 1, medium to paint, something like that. A lot to a little. Because the medium has absolutely no coloration to it at all, you'll get exactly the color you expect. You're just thinning it for opacity, so easy peasy.
She's cleaning an apple cider press. As far as you know, she could be watching. You're driving your truck right now.
I was gonna say, that's a lot of faith you have in her telling you what her schedule is. That's what I would say if I were secretly watching your conduct on stream. Oh no, honey, don't worry. I have to clean the press today. All right, let's test that. Boop. Oh, perfection.
Well, that's very, very, very fine. There's not a whole lot going on there.
Not a whole lot going on there. So we're going to grab a big number 6 brush. We don't need a lot of water on it because this is very, very... I mean, look at me going over this white paint. Look at that. Right? That, my friends, is the magic of glaze. You want to get most of it off of your brush, and then we just start bringing that flesh tone up onto everything that we painted. So we're going to go over every color, green, red, and purple, right? But again, every time before I go to the model, take most of the paint off because we don't ever want to put a big glop of color on the model all at once. We want to have every brush stroke just leave a nice little skinning of color across the surface as we start building up flesh tones over this, because the whole idea with underpainting like this is being able to control at each stage how much of the flesh tone starts showing up. This is really made simple if you airbrush this first layer and you have good control with the airbrush. You can do that. Here we're just going to show you how to do a painting. Normal brush work. But notice how the glazed wash medium keeps the paint together in a way that allows it to not run like water makes it run.
Nice and smooth with the
Yeah,
glazed
it doesn't
wash
pool
medium.
up. It just acts like normal paint with much less opacity.
Did you already answer the question about how much water to add?
No, on this one,
How
not much.
Yeah, how much water did you add? Is it a ratio?
So if we're doing 10-to-1 medium to paint, it's probably 2 of water. 10 to 2 to 1. Is that track? Not much. You add a lot more for a wash. This is just to make sure that it doesn't kind of gloop into small recesses. So, not a whole lot.
What size brush are you using?
6.
Oh, that's a 6.
Yeah.
Alec is finally starting to come together on this guy.
Awesome. Revakar said, I've been working on
101.
glazing like mad lately. Your 101 videos have been incredibly helpful.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, this is just an extension of that. Same process, just using much thinner paint and getting the base colors set the way you want them first before moving into glazing with, a little bit more color. I'm not a person that believes in glazing with 50 million thin layers, so don't think that that's what I'm showing you here. I'm just starting hyper thin to get things lined out. And then once I get comfortable with how the color's going on, then I'll switch over and we'll start using more color because I'll know specifically where to put it. But you can see how the skin tone here is kind of pulling all of those base colors together, right? It's doing the blending, which is why I say you don't have to spend a whole lot of time worried about, blending your purple and all of that as you apply them the first time. I have to remember that I'm working on a very small area here, given the surface area of her face. I got to be careful to not just go back and hit the same areas multiple times because you'll start tearing the paint. Right? We're working in such thin layers that even with the medium holding it together, you don't want to go back and agitate the same area over and over and over again, right? You want to let the forehead area here dry for a minute before you go back with another wet brush load of paint on it.
Such an interesting process to me.
What's that?
Just the way you do this and how it doesn't look at all like skin, but I know it's going to.
Yeah. Yeah, the first couple of stages look very alien, right? But it sets it up for really, really good skin tones after the fact.
Revcar said I watched your airbrush prime pre-highlight video. You glazed the underpainting of the face on that one. Do you prefer this method or that? Or why would you choose one over the other?
I think for airbrushing, it becomes something where I'm really looking to do more surface area is kind of where my brain goes. You know, like if she were more skin on the torso and things like that, then I would probably brush paint the base coats and then airbrush the first layer of skin over the top, if that's what you're asking. I typically don't need to use the airbrush on something like this, although not in the beginning. What you'll see is that I'll probably use the airbrush for like coat 3 of skin when I go to a highlight color or something, when I'm doing just little spot coloring to do final blending. But yeah, early on I like the control of the brush on situations like this. Allows me to make quick decisions to add more or less color, like if I wanted to add an orange or magenta or something like that along this process, I can do that much more easily than if I'm trying to airbrush it all. But you definitely could, and it would help to speed it up. Like, let's say if you were doing, you know, an army of Space Marines this way, and you were doing them to kind of that medium high level, where you wanted to have, you know, good flesh tones on all those faces, you could underpaint them all and then go through and airbrush all of them.
Darth
with
Mullen said
the early layers of flesh tone.
Darth Mullen said, so I was told this is more of a Verdaccio technique when doing skin.
Underpainting is for that was called Verdaccio, yeah, because you didn't have all of the pigments available back in the day. So you'd underpaint with greens and reds and all of that.
So same concept, just fancy name.
Yeah, it's just a kind of a painterly term to use for it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I've always just called it underpainting.
Yeah.
Because you can do it with just about anything and for any type of texture. It doesn't have to be for skin, right? You'll see me do this on metals, just about anything.
And from Kara again, so the size is really it. You airbrushed the primer black, gray, and white, then glazed the purple, green, and red, then glazed the skin tones.
Yep. And again, there's no rule, so do what you feel like you want to do. You know, you can do this one with airbrush, you could do this one with brush like I'm doing. It's up to you. What do you feel confident with? The technique of underpainting doesn't require some special use of brush or airbrush. It's the idea of placing that color in a filtering method as opposed to starting with like a mid-tone and shading and things like that, because it'll give you all of those colors of skin without having to go and paint them over the top. Because when you think of it from, you know, call it a scientific perspective or whatever, skin is layered, right? All of your dermal layers and then your guts, muscle and tendons and all that stuff. And so when painting, I like to think of it that way. If I can put the color of the stuff that's down deep on first, and then layer the color of the thing that sits on top of it, and so on and so on and so on, then I've created the same depth that exists on the physical thing. If I paint it all flesh tone and then I go paint rosy color on the cheeks, that's the way makeup works, right? And so that tends to look more like makeup. And how you do that is you go back and you do like the flush red over the flesh tone, and then you glaze the flesh tone back over the flush red to create that same level of depth. So there's as many ways to do it as there are artists. But if you want to do something that kind of feels more natural, at least for me, then this is kind of my go-to for that de facto way to do skin. But I can, you know, create the exact same look without ever doing underpainting, or at least close, not exactly the same, because it's the filtering that gives it its legitimacy, its realness. And with skin, it's something we're used to looking at all day, every day. Our own, everybody around us, right? And so the brain really knows how to equate skin in a healthy look, you know, a disgusting, unhealthy look, like we do Nurgle stuff, right? no matter if you're an artist or not, consider yourself one, consider yourself to have ever been one, your brain and eyes know how to relate to certain things in the world that you're used to looking at. And so if you can attack your painting in a way that keeps those things looking the way you're used to seeing them, then you'll be happier. You'll pull off more when you go to show it to other people. They'll know exactly what story you were trying to tell from the get-go, things like that. So definitely a more advanced way of looking at it. You could just paint this with dark flesh, shadow flesh, tan flesh. But look, she's starting to have what is looking more like a human.
Yep.
It's just a more stylized version of a human. And this is just the same color glazed over and over. You know, and I'm on, what, coat 2 or 3 right now. But you can see all of those colors being inherited by the skin that we're putting on top. So the real place that you're seeing it biggest is the contrast between the sunny glow of the forehead and then the shadow as it drops off to the right side of her face, into the red flush of the cheek and into the purple. Right, we've got a little bit of exaggerated purple because I'm a little wet down here to put the skin, the color doesn't adhere because I've just been using too much wetness down here. I don't really want that much shadow on this side of her chin. I want all that over here. But you're starting to see it. Nothing you can't do. It's just, it's a patience way of painting, right? Because it's one of those like non-metallic metal that has to build from that slow burn. Hate using that, right? But it's a slow burn, right? Yeah. Because it's like you know you're headed in the right direction. You know you're doing what you've been told to do and what has worked in the past, but it never looks right until it does.
Yeah. It's kind of like the cloak that I did on Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
It took forever to apply, but once you get to that point where it's starting to come together, then it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, until you find either that contrast or that hue that starts to take shape, which is really what's happening here, is that we're dealing with colors that don't look, you know, they look flayed skin and messed up and textury until you start getting the smoothness and the actual color of flesh to show up. I gave her a cool smirk.
Cool smirk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has kind of a smirk. So the idea being that when you're looking straight on at the coin like this, that she's looking at you.
Yeah.
And has her left eyebrow cocked.
I love it. So good. I want to paint one.
I was about to say, you gonna paint one, Jen?
Yeah.
It's a fun model. Hoping everybody enjoys this crazy idea of mine.
I think people enjoy most, if not all, of your crazy ideas that you share through Monument Hobbies.
No,
It's just funny because I like looking around going, you know
one.
what I'd like to paint? I'd like to paint a bus that didn't have a back. But intentionally didn't have a back, you know, not just me being lazy and not wanting to paint the back.
There was one crazy idea, Jason.
That people didn't like?
Yep.
What was it?
You know. Blending up McDonald's drinks. Not the best idea you've ever
I
had.
meant like his product ideas that he creates.
But Jordan,
Product ideas are great.
but Jordan,
Yeah.
it was memorable.
It
That's
certainly
true.
was.
You won't forget that day. You might not
That's
remember
true.
what day it was, but you're not going to forget that day.
Oh, I remember it vividly. At least my taste buds don't remember it.
They remember it enough that you know you don't want to do it again, right?
Well, I don't remember the taste, but I remember that it was bad.
Yeah.
And that it didn't belong in my body.
His face was super red.
It's because I was coughing like crazy.
Oh.
Because I was still recovering at that time from the trip that Jacob and I went on, where I started to die. I was out for like a week.
This concerns me how? This was about McDonald's.
I'm just saying I was still recovering, and so the cough was much worse than you would normally expect.
It
And
was
so my face was like
I was
beet
worried
red.
about Jordan because I was like, "Are you gonna live?" He was over there on the side, just as red
Yeah.
as a human can turn. After he took a chunk or two, I don't know if you call it a bite
Oh,
or a sip.
no. We
Not
don't
real
need to
sure
call
what
it
we call
anything.
that.
We can move on.
You know what we can think about instead, Jen?
What?
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Specifically cookie dough ice cream with cookie dough in it from the cookie dough place, which is
Oh.
spectacular, by the way. That's like literally one of my favorite desserts around
Is it?
here. Yeah,
it's
I
so
love
good.
it.
We need to go. We still need to do when it's still a little too hot.
Oh, for
The ice cream donut.
Yeah, I
We
want
need
to do that
go
really
get the
bad.
ice cream donut. Take the whole crew out for ice cream donuts. Coxie said, "I'm losing my mind painting this." Some word that I don't know. Zangor mutant.
Zangor.
It started as a blue base coat and is changed to purple. The head was supposed to just be purple and magenta, and I think I went a bit OTT on
Over the top?
everywhere. Over the top. Oh, on everywhere. I mean, there's nothing wrong with purple and magenta.
Nope,
I like purple and magenta a whole lot.
you do. It helps that it's also really good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with purple and magenta.
Yesterday when we raided, remember who?
AC Miniatures.
Yeah.
With the pink and the purple, he had the crazy.
Tyranids
I'm
or
pretty sure it
something?
was.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And, yeah, I'm like,
Yep,
colors.
yep. He is
If
doing
you,
that.
yeah, Aaron should be your best friend.
Does he paint in those
He
colors a lot?
only paints your favorite
Oh,
color.
really?
Oh, yeah. Like his favorite color, magenta.
Nice.
Everything is magenta. Or if not magenta, other very bright.
Hey, look, we're painting magenta right now. Troll warts / scales.
That sounds delightful.
Magenta warts.
Magenta warts.
Magenta warts.
That sounds like a whole lot of things I don't want. I'm also using advanced blush tone. Just a good color. I gotta paint this guy's face in this
That's about all the glazing we'll do.
color.
And we'll start moving into color in a more normal state. Just water on the brush. That pulls all of our red and our purple together in a good way. Stages our color across the model. Kind of set up where I want my light to be, which is kind of this way off the forehead.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Frankie. Thank you for the follow.
Eat the paint, you might get magenta warts. Don't eat the paint. Please do not eat the paint. Please
Don't do it.
do not eat the paint.
Do not
All right.
eat the paint.
So now, like I said, the next layer we are going to do via the airbrush. Smooth out all of that stuff.
I was wondering how much of this you were gonna do with airbrush.
Probably just this next layer. On a model like this, I think the airbrush is best suited for kind of mid blending and highlights, maybe, but you can see how right now it has a very male coloring to it. If your eyes are trained that way, you'll notice that women don't have that kind of darkness on their chin, generally.
They don't generally have 5 o'clock shadow.
Generally do not. Now's the time to go back in before we go and filter with the airbrush to dial in a little bit more of that brightness if we need it in certain areas.
Paint more of this horse. Form white out of here. Because I gotta paint the horse white as per Jason's request.
Oh. I don't see that.
White horse.
And
The horsey skin. I'm gonna need
alright, I'm gonna go back to 2.
a little bit of.
You see how that bright yellow green, or that yellow green, it's not even bright yellow green, but just the yellow green now starts dialing in the brightness on the flesh again. And technically, I'm going to add a little bit more water to what we've got here. So now maybe 10 to 1 to 3, let's call it. Just to loosen this back up.
Is this gonna be your airbrush application?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll use the same color. But because it'll be atomized through the airbrush, our coverage will be totally different than it was with the brush. And I'm gonna let it be goopy. This stuff sprays really, really well. For some reason.
Jordan, you're not, that's not like white.
No, this is a mixture of the heavy warm white, a little bit of yellow ochre, and a touch of black to darken it back up a little bit. I want to build up this
Oh,
kind
paint
of
liquor.
textured, pale. Because like we were talking about with painting white earlier on in the streams for the week, you don't want to go super bright with it right away. You want to build it up. So I'm building up this texture as a way of creating that gradient, and then highlighting and finishing with white as the highlight. And it's going to give you a much more realistic white effect that way. So you can see how that versus that side just slowly kind of brings a little bit of brightness to it. And this silver is kind of dark, so having this nice bright color next to it really shows off all that detail. It's really nice. A little bit more. Might need to thin this out just a touch more. Define kind of where that chin comes down. Bottom half of the head. Just texture down like this.
Instantaneous blends.
Mm-hmm.
We are so thin that you're gonna have to, when you're doing this, you're gonna have to get good at being able to tell when you're applying paint by seeing the moisture on the model. Otherwise, you will cover up everything. Too easy.
Nice. Looks great.
All of our colors are still there. Our yellow green on the forehead, cheek, nose, lip, where I redialed them in. And then, of course, the red over here on this shadowed side of the cheek, and then the purple down on this side of the chin. But notice how I did the yellow green on this side of the chin to get rid of that purple here, so that when the skin goes over it, the only purple that I really have is right here at the bottom of the laugh line as it goes into the cloak. And so now it looks more like a female, right? We don't have the 5 o'clock shadow over here. It's just natural shadow, right? Real, and what I've just shown you is a super simple way to get very complex skin tones working. So if you can get confident with the concept, regardless of how you apply it, you can now do very, very good depth on your skin without having to, you know, feel like you got to spend 10,000 hours becoming a master of your craft. And from here on up, you can do other colors if you want. A lot of times I'll just go into my standard skin workup, you know, do mid-tone and bright flesh over the top of this. Tan flesh, shadow flesh. I'll probably just go straight to tan flesh right now.
Hey, Gosu.
Gosu, hello.
Coxie said that's one colorful palette. How do you see your paint?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't. It needs to be cleaned really badly. This is not as out of control as it's ever been, but it's close. It's getting there.
Is that a, hey Jordan, maybe we should do this?
I just need to go back and dunk it in the bucket. I just never remember.
Oh yeah, the bucket.
It's usually something I do like on a Friday, so that I don't have to like forget right before stream and then go clean it right before the stream.
Yeah.
Although it'll happen anyway. A lot of times the best bet is to give it to Carter.
They give it to Carter?
Give it to Carter and say, hey, can you dunk this for me? And he'll do it, and then he'll remember to bring it back.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You don't need Carter to put it in the bucket. You need to have Carter remember to take it out of the bucket and make sure it's available for painting the next time you need it.
What's the, is it a bucket of like ISO or something?
No. Fabuloso.
Fabuloso.
Oh, yeah.
Just soap. Just soap and water. Dunk it in there. You don't have to agitate it or anything. You just dunk it in there and leave it overnight. Come back and use the paint scraper they have back in production.
Oh, yeah.
And 1 or 2 hits with the scraper and it comes off as a whole mass. Depends on if you're trying to keep it as a whole mass. To have as a keepsake.
Turn them into wallpaper.
Or if you just want it clean. If you just want it clean, it's super fast. If you want to try to get it off all in one piece, that's a little bit more like playing Operation, but
Hot water works really well for that
still has
too.
it.
Like hot boiling water.
Should I not be using a razor to scrape it off the palette? Yeah, you can. But I would suggest filling up one side of the sink at night, right, with soapy water, and then submerging it in the soapy water and going to bed. Wake up in the morning and clean it off, because by the morning time, sometimes you may get lucky and the paint is just lifted and is floating. You just pull it up and throw it in the garbage. That saves you a lot of trouble with using the razor blade to scrape it off. You still need a scraper to get through it. Well, at least on mine, because I have 18 million layers of paint.
That actually makes it easier a lot of the time. Especially if you can get
that
it
way
to
you're not
lift up.
having to scrape in vain.
I like this idea, though, of we need to keep them, dry them, and use them as, like, wallpaper
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
somewhere.
It'd be wild.
Wallpaper my corner.
Your corner.
All right. I can't remember which of these. Oh, yeah, I can.
The cats like to go take a bath in the sink. Chuck said if we did the soak overnight in the sink method, we'd have some Technicolor cats in the morning.
Oh, they'd go get in it.
Seems like really odd behavior for cats. Don't cats like generally not like being in water?
My mom's cat would lay in the sink and wait for the water to be turned on and then
Oh my
swat at
gosh.
it.
What a cat. That is such a cat thing. The water part's a little odd, but the swatting at it, very cat.
Yeah.
It's a very cat thing to do.
3 of them are obsessed with the sink and faucet.
Oh my gosh.
Like the gum wall in Seattle, exactly.
Ugh, gross.
So you need to get a bucket
I've contributed to the gum wall.
like we have, and then your cats don't matter. You just stick it in the bucket, put it on the garage, call it a day.
You've contributed gum to the gum wall,
Yep.
Jen?
Most cats love water. They hop in the shower with him. Paint Looker said, "There's a gum wall. As a person who licks paint, gross."
Mm-hmm.
It is really gross, but it's also really cool. I think
It's pretty gross.
it's gross. A
As
few years
somebody who
ago, they
lived
cleaned
there.
it all off.
Yeah.
You had to start over.
I think every now and then they do.
They probably have to.
Health and wellness comes out and says, okay, so here's the deal.
Paint Looker, you need to Google it. Seattle gum wall. You gotta
People
see
will
it.
like lick the wall too.
Ew.
It's so weird. Yeah, people over there are weird.
It's like a full-on, like, there are people there. It's like a tourist attraction.
But it's on some like
It's like in an
random
alley.
wall in an alley
Yeah.
somewhere
Well, it's in the
in
Pike Place.
in Pike
market,
Place, yeah.
But it is.
which
kind
is
of
cool place to go hang out and check out cool things.
Yeah.
This is Shadow Flesh. Shadow Flesh has a little bit more pink. You can see that the advanced flesh tone is more of a yellow flesh. Shadow Flesh. Right? So the Shadow Flesh as a glaze is adding in that little bit of in-between color that we need as our skin goes into shadow. And just water on my brush to glaze that on there. But notice how that's giving those kind of pinkish tones back to the skin. And so I just did that in this area right here between the shadow and the underside of the cheek. You can see the yellow green on the top of the cheek, side of the nose, top of the lip, top of the chin, or side of the chin, and this wedge on her forehead and eyebrow. So I just did the Shadow Flesh in between, so we still have that purplish red down here, into the Shadow Flesh, into the yellow green, and then on the ear a little bit, underside of the ear. Up here, as we come out of the temple across the top of that shadowed area of her hair, and then over here as we get past the brow and into the shadow of the hair on this side, and then this entire cheek and side of the nose, except for right here at the smile line.
Foxy would like to know, what color would you base coat a sword to edge highlight magenta like a flame effect?
Adding any of like pale yellow to magenta makes a really cool color without shifting it too much towards red.
Yeah.
Because obviously yellow and magenta gets you much more into red. That would be a weird
Yeah, like
highlight
a
color.
peachy highlight.
But
yeah.
pale yellow works really well and doesn't get you bubblegum pink like white. So again, any of the ivories, khaki, pale yellow, anything that trends into a warmer tint color is probably your best bet.
For base coating?
I thought he said highlighting.
Said, what would you base coat a sword to
Oh.
edge highlight magenta like a flame effect?
Oh, you want to edge highlight magenta
Yeah.
over the top of some other color. That just depends, right? Because magenta can edge highlight any of your purples, darker magentas, reds.
Well, if you're doing like magenta glow, it depends on a couple of things. One, how reflective do you want that to be? I'm assuming it's a sword, so you want it to be, relatively speaking, pretty reflective. Because, like, I mean, you can have it be like a really dark sword for most of it, most of the flat plane, and then the edge is really bright, like magenta. In which case, I would take like white and then go over it with like dark magenta or something, or mix magenta into white, to just do like a really, hard edge light like that. But you want that up against like a darker flat of the blade, and that's only going to be if the light is coming from somewhere on the the blade's edge of the sword.
Spatsnat, I like that. Spatsnat said I use a ceramic tile for my dry palette. Instead of cleaning it, I need to just buy new ones and keep the old ones for when I remodel my bathroom.
Oh my
There you
gosh.
go. That would be awesome to have a bunch of paint tiles that just had the old paint on them
Yeah.
that you then tile your room with.
Yeah.
New idea.
That's actually a really cool idea.
New idea. We're
I
gonna
like
do
it.
that to my corner.
I like it.
Oh, there. All right. That's kind of the white horse, pretty much. Don't want to go too much brighter than that, I don't think. But you can see how all those highlights really give it the visual. Although I need to do the highlights on the side. Now, most
Looking
of it is
white.
covered up, but it is a white horse.
She got crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah, how did her eyes come out with on the print?
Good. I mean, we didn't sculpt pupils and stuff like some people do, so
Yeah,
much easier
yeah.
to.
Which I personally think should never happen.
Yeah.
Let me paint in the pupils.
Not a fan. not.
A lot of the problem is like sculptors will like to sculpt it in because they like to sculpt it, even though they're painting something that's supposed to be painted. And while it is a cooler and fancier thing to do as a sculptor, it doesn't make for a better quality.
Well, if you learn traditional sculpting, they would take the pupils and a lot of times make divots, or usually not stand out, but divots,
Negative
so that
space.
no matter how you were looking at it, you could see where the sculpt was looking.
Yeah.
If that was a focus of their sculpt.
Which is very cool.
So that translates into modern times, but is unnecessary for what we do because you're going to be painting it. So
These are what we're calling texture trainers right now, and yeah, it's the test print.
It's the week of showing off cool new
All
things.
the new stuff.
I think we've shown off more new stuff this week than I think I've ever seen us show off before.
But yeah, it's the little like coin size kind of thing. What did you say the size is? 72?
65 millimeter.
65 millimeters.
Yeah.
And it'll have all the different textures. So like this one, he's doing the skin right now, but it's got metal and hair and cloth and leather and all kinds of stuff. So it's a good tool for practicing all those things. And it looks awesome.
Only thing I hate about painting horses is all the straps and leather bits and bobs.
Their clothes.
Well, I mean, not the the clothes. I'm talking about just like the reins and stuff.
No, that's the horse's clothes.
I guess.
So
So.
horse's clothes. That's what we say to Cora.
Cora.
Put on your
You gotta
clothes.
put
It's
your
a
clothes
harness.
on.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense now.
That's all they
I
got,
obviously
man.
did not get the joke.
Afford them some clothes.
Afford them some clothes. Let them have their dignity.
But she knows when we pull out the harness, put your clothes on. Gets a little excited, but then she'll sit down.
Gets way too excited for a second.
Yeah, oh my god. Walk time. Walk time.
God forbid we tell her she's going for a ride.
And then she really freaks out.
You want to go for a ride? She just starts talking.
Yeah.
Talking.
Oh my gosh.
Like I do, yeah. Because a ride means she gets a pup cup.
She gets a what?
Pup cup.
What
At
is that?
Starbucks, a little cup of whipped cream
Oh, that's cool.
they give to dogs at Starbucks.
I bet she loves that.
He loves that. That's
A
now
lot
we
of
were
time,
talking
little
about that
brat,
earlier.
It's like her second of the day because Dad gives her.
Yeah, she gets it for at home on her weekend breakfast. And if she eats before we go get coffee, then she gets a double dose.
She gets a double dose.
Yep.
I'm just using tan flesh and burgundy right here, guys. And that gives us the basis for the eye. Load the entire area with the burgundy first. That'll give you the flush area around the eye for representing the eyelid and the tear gland or tear duct area and all of that. That's, don't do it in red. I really like burgundy for it. Our burgundy is like an old color I used to use from another manufacturer that I use for all of our flush coloring on skin.
Burgundy's a really good color for that. Like, not so red that it looks weird, but it's
Right.
just red enough to have that nice little bit of warmth.
Yeah, because if you go with real red and you let a lot of it show, then it looks like vampire eyes or something, right? Staging it correctly is your biggest concern.
Have we mentioned recently that there will be a brush restock tomorrow on monumenthobbies.com? I don't know if you guys are interested in that at all.
I'm interested in that very much.
Are you?
The brush restock?
Yeah.
It's exciting.
You might be the only one who cares about that, though.
Me?
Yeah, I don't think anybody else cares.
Hmm. Well, that's a bummer.
Ghost who said, brush is fake news, no way. No. See?
Fake news, no way.
Fake news not happening. You guys are lying to us. I don't believe it. I can't believe it's not butter.
Good setup for the eyes.
But yeah, you heard it here first. When I told you yesterday, brushes tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Sharp. Very sharp 9 o'clock.
Well, there you go, Clarkatron. Nobody
it?
needs brushes. Ninjon had a video that said you only need fingers.
Who listens to that guy anyways?
You only need fingers? Is that what I just heard?
That's apparently Ninjon has a video that showed how you only need fingers, not brushes.
Kick him out.
Ask him where the hilt of the sword for his Yojimbo is.
Oh, that's so funny.
I don't get that, but
It's broken somewhere.
just that just means there's more brushes for the rest of you guys.
Because there's fools out there painting with their fingers.
Yeah.
More
Anyone
power
who
to
listens to Ninjon, like, I don't need those brushes. I'll use my fingers. You guys are gonna get the brushes. They're gonna realize not so easy to paint a model with my fingers. Wish I could get some of those Monument Hobbies brushes. They're gonna be
true.
gone.
True. Very true.
James Wapple also has a finger painting mini video somewhere. I can see that actually.
Good old James Wapple.
James uses a
Canada
lot.
might have brushes. They got a ton of brushes on the last restock, so you might still be able to easily find brushes in Canada. Just like a lot of stores in the U.S. still have brushes. We just haven't had them since June. The team has been working very hard to get the brushes all ready for you guys. Tomorrow's the day. Oh, good, Clark. That's smart.
Painting these cushions in this guy's saddle. Got a nice little setup in here. Got a nice cushy little saddle.
Got cushions?
Yeah, look at this. He's got little cushions.
Wimp.
Yep.
What a wimp.
I
What
was
a
just
wimp.
gonna say, that seems pretty soft for a guy carrying such a big sword.
Little wimpy.
Yep.
Real horsemen don't use cushions.
He's a lord.
He's a lord.
Everyone judging this guy about to die because he's using a cushion.
Because he's gonna die because he's using a cushion.
No, we're judging
No,
him.
we're judging the guy who's about to die.
He's about to die.
We're
'cause
judging
he's
him for using a
cushion.
cushion.
Oh, okay.
He's about to die. Can't give him a little something. At least he can go out with a comfortable seat. Quad tomato. Oh.
Wad tomato and what up?
That wasn't too long to get to a place where we're starting to put it all together.
Glowy laser eyes.
Glowy
Let's
laser
go.
eyes.
Yeah, her
Yes,
eyes are a
she has
little
glowy
creepy.
laser eyes right now.
A little creepy.
But you could give her actual glowy laser.
I don't think that's what I'm trying to do, but
Have the power.
I have the
is
power.
within you.
She could have glowy laser eyes. It's like superhero eyes. All right. Olive flesh. Go to for the whites of eyes. When painting scleras, settle for none other than olive flesh.
I agree with that.
Do
These are
not
great
paint
colors.
eyes white. Don't. Resist the temptation. Do not use white except for if you're doing the right scale of eye and you need that last glint of wet shine on the eye. Little dot of white. Don't ever paint the eyes white. If you're doing cartoony eyes, like on your tiger and
chibis,
stuff,
yeah.
white's perfect. But if you're trying to recreate realistic eyes,
Yeah.
don't use white. I always start like I'm showing here, like kind of your bright color of skin. That's all tan flesh over the burgundy. And then I'll go in with olive flesh on the lower half of the eye generally, right? Or the lower 2/3 of the eye, because the eyelid creates a shadow across the top. So it's a reverse of what you would think. A lot of people will do highlighting like we're used to, where brightness goes on top, shadow goes on the bottom. Don't highlight an eye like that. Do brighter color underneath and leave the top with a little bit of shadow from the brow line and the eyelid.
Ghost who said, Baby J, I feel like those cities of Sigmar were a good call. I feel like your painting style is on point for that new model range.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm having fun with them.
You can tell.
They're definitely, they got a lot of gribbly bits,
Got a lot of gribbly bits.
but you know what?
Are they really that bad?
I mean, this guy's got a cushion for his saddle,
No. Yeah.
and he's got wood on his saddle, which is odd.
I lost my paint. Oh, there it is. Somebody earlier was asking, how do you know where your paint is? I don't. I wasn't lying. No idea. I nearly lost it there.
Paint Liquor, I think these are new. Are these new models?
Me?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these just came out.
Are there any more Baby J models, Baby J looking models in the kit? Any more that look like you?
Maybe. Not quite as much as this guy. This is definitely Baby J. Although I did trim my beard today. It was getting a little unwieldy. And so needed to be trimmed.
Chuck said, finally getting out of my comfort zone and moving from 32mm D&D minis to a 110mm model.
Oh my goodness.
Monument Stream is like night school for nerds.
Hey, there you go.
GW equals so many tchotchkes.
I thought those looked like they were a little bit better.
They are better. It's just like there's a lot.
Are they, like, is it because they want you to feel like you're getting your money's worth? Like, I paid a lot for this, I want to have a lot of stuff on it?
They look cool when they have a bunch of weird stuff on them. But like, it's like all this trim. Excuse me. Like all this trim. Like this detail on the shield is pretty extravagant. It's got this little thing on there. His saddle has like 2 things of wood with some like weird detail at the bottom. Underneath the wood is some like foamy quilt-like looking stuff. And then he's got a helmet with a bunch of trim on it. Yeah, it's just kind of all over the place. Like there's little ties at the bottom of this that don't need to be there. This is like little odd things that you're like, why is
It's
this
looking
here?
really good.
Well, thank you.
All Tim's hearing is too many tchotchkes.
That's what I said. It's too many tchotchkes. But they're cool tchotchkes. So they don't feel so bad. A lot of the time you'll get weird tchotchkes and you're like, what the heck is this thing? Why is this here? I don't have that as much with this, which is good.
Michael R. Murphy, all we use around here is Pro Acryl. So, yep,
Only
everything
the
here,
Pro. We make it. We are Mountain
everything
Hobbies.
on the face is Pro Acryl.
Which you can find on that wonderful store link that Jen just
Yeah.
put up for us.
And this video, the VOD from today, will be on YouTube like tomorrow, if you want to go back and see how he did it. Because he started out with bright yellow, green, red, and like dark purple.
Yeah.
So, and it got to this.
Yeah, it was
So
all.
it's a pretty cool process.
It was all what I do called underpainting, using dark purple for my shadows, burnt red for my mid-tones, and yellow green for the highlight spots. And so the yellow green is all up around here on the forehead, top of the cheek, side of the nose, top of the lip, side of the chin down here. Then the red starts showing in at the, like, up around the top of the forehead here, into the pinch for the temple, underneath the cheek, right? Then the purple showing here for the shadows around all those areas, right? Underneath the laugh line, frown line, and then over here on this side, a lot more purple, a lot more burnt red, a little, like, very, very little bright yellow green over here at all. And then scaling the flesh tone over with glazes, and then using the airbrush as a way to blend it all. And then I'll go back and blend more with highlights and such. We're kind of in the halfway point. I've kind of stopped to focus on eyes right now, since I'm done with what I'll do with any broad scale airbrushing. I might do some very fine airbrushing on it, but for the most part, I'm done with that.
Despon, the Monumentals are our affiliates.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Hey, thank you for the follow.
Lexi the Random. There's some numbers in there, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to read those or not. Thank you for the follow.
Why, thank you.
Are the other 3 flat busties character models, or is there a monster type
Hey,
model?
somebody likes
There
us.
is a monster type in there.
Michael R. Murphy, thank you for the follow. Oh, much better already.
What's that?
It's much better already.
What's that?
that she now has, like, they're starting to look more like eyes and
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
creepy
Yeah.
orbs.
Again,
in
like
her
everything
head.
you do as a painter, sometimes you have to start from that weird
Yeah.
spot
It
where
is.
everything you look at, if you just judge it by how it looks right now, you'll be like, I've screwed this
Yeah.
up, can't do it, right?
You got to remember
Because
it's a
everything
process.
everything eventually comes together. You have to have that foresight to know where you're going to get, and that comes through practice and experience, right? Because a lot of times you won't know the journey and how all the steps look until you take it. I can tell you what it's like to drive from here to New York. I can tell you about all the terrain in between, and there's this really cool stop in Wyoming, and yada yada yada, and you can kind of notate that watching me do this on stream. Hey, these are the things you do before you build it up. Da 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 da. Oh yeah, Jason said it. I understand it. But until you do it and you see what the fruit of your labor brings with each brushstroke, you won't understand. That you'll get to that point where you're like, dude, this looks like garbage. But then the next color you put on is like, oh,
And there it is.
chef's kiss,
Yep.
right? So yeah, so looking at bright laser eyes, and then all of a sudden dropping, an iris over the sclera, and even without any other work, it looks more finished, And look how much life we gave the model by putting the iris together too, because now she has a look, right? Eyes are super important as you go up in scale because it shows the focus of this model, which adds to their overall composition of their look, like they're grinning or yelling or whatever, right? So the direction that they're looking has a lot to do with it. Remember that if you're doing what we're doing here, as you turn your head but pull your eyes this way, the eye closest to us, this one, will have sclera on both sides of the iris. The positional eye in the back, as the iris moves towards the tear duct, you start to eclipse that, and so you won't have as much sclera showing. A lot of people would try to balance it and say, oh, I have this much white on this side, so I need that much white over here, and it'll be wrong. Instantaneously, you'll have like that weird bug eye look, right? So tuck the iris up into the shadow spot on one side and then leave a little more sclera. Then we have a direct view, right? It doesn't look like the eyes are staring in slightly weird angles.
Mo wants this one yesterday, I think. Said you got to put it down, get to work, get them out to us.
I was hoping that people would really like the kind of come at me bro expression that she has. Like the
She has a
whole
great
idea
expression.
for me was like, yeah, you want to test me?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, girls can't fight?
Yep.
Kind of a thing.
Let me show you.
So a lot of that's baked into the sculpt, but a lot of it has to do with how you pull off the eyes and what you decide to do, because you could just as easily have her looking down the shaft of the axe, and it would be a totally different feel for her. So her expression is baked in, but the way you do the eyes is going to be kind of the leading point of how the whole story comes together. She could be looking down her nose, like she just, killed somebody and they're at her feet.
Yeah, that's great.
We took it in and showed her and told her to remember what it looked like. Then I painted the hair and brought so much together. Yeah. And that's, visually it's really hard because at each stage you have to remind yourself as you're trying new things, right? That don't judge it until the end, right?
Yep.
Don't start your comparison until you call it done. Because all of those steps, especially with stuff like non-metallic metal, it looks like garbage until it doesn't. Like it goes from garbage to awesome when you pull it off.
In about
There
2
is
seconds.
no, oh, I get it, until you have the experience. And then it goes from, blunt colors, sketched in to now I'm starting to see my highlights, and it becomes old hat. It's like riding a bicycle. You just know that you're going to get there, and you can leave it halfway and eventually come back to it and feel like you know what you're going to complete. But until you've done that trip on your own, you don't know what Wyoming looks like, until you drive through it and how that feels to you. I'm going to lop your head off and have fun doing it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but for those of you that are just tuning in, this is our new cameo series of miniatures. We're going to, right now, we have it on the slate to have a minimum of 3. We're looking at a 4th one. but we'll be starting in with the sculpt for the other 2 in the main line here very soon. This one is the test print. This is the first print that came off our 3D printers internally to judge if we could do that to keep costs down, because the goal of these is to have them be models that you can they can be affordable enough that you might buy multiples to have as one as a practice and one to paint as a final, or if you're doing classes as a class teacher, you can buy a dozen of them for your students. There'll be some really neat ways to learn to tackle different textures, like skin, right? It's a 65 millimeter round, so there's enough surface area to feel like you can get comfortable with painting, right? There's a lot going on, but it's not so much, it's not huge, and it has leather, both leather straps, hardened leather armor, cloth on the cloak, hair, fur, metal, stone if you wanted to on the axe, wood on the shaft of the axe. So you have all of these amazing textures that you can play with that will kind of help refine your technique and comfort with painting those different things and getting a feel for them. That's the goal. That's why they exist, or why they will exist. This one exists. You can't have it. Pro Acryl branded water for rinsing brushes. Didn't GW do Warter? W-A-R-T-E-R? Warter as an April Fool's joke?
There was a
so.
place that had water. Wasn't there a place that sold bottled water?
Don't get me started. People are not going to like me if I start talking about that.
Gentleman Paints, hello. We could change that subject real quick.
Gentlemen, what's happening?
Gentlemen. Hello.
I love the steel barding.
On the neck?
No, on the body there, right? The armor on the body, the way you have the kind of sky earth sketched in there with the transparents or with the glazes there.
I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how I wanted this silver to kind of come together.
I like that.
And that warmth at the bottom of the sky.
It doesn't look dirty and weathered. It looks, but also not chrome. It's somewhere in between, which gives it a really good look.
And it reads from a lot of different angles too, which is nice. Like that cut is at a nice spot.
Ghost who says it's actually a good sculpt too, looks awesome, not just some weird 3D printer calibration test looking thing. So we sculpted it to be done in cast resin. And the problem is that we would have to do it in multiple pieces in the mold, even though it's molded for single piece. It's the size of it is something that most people have said they want to do in multiple pieces, which is not what I want to do. So I said, well, let's look at 3D printing it internally. So we had to go back and re-support it and get it ready so that we could actually maybe move it into a production like we did with the paint party models. But it's super sturdy. It's not hollowed. This is 100% thick ass resin. It has the M embedded on the back. You can't see it because, well, you kind of can. You can see the outline of the M. But it's got the monument M on the back. Not that the back is important at all. It's meant to, if you wanted to drill a magnet into it, you can put it as a magnet on your refrigerator. But it's a very sturdy piece. You're not going to break any of this off, right? The axe blade touches everywhere, so there's nothing really that hangs out into the open. Even the hilt on the axe is super joined to everything. So it's a very sturdy piece.
Yeah, it's really well done.
And yeah, the sculpt is done by William Tsang, who is a phenomenal sculptor, and was a joy to work with. And he just put out a phenomenal product. I shoved a bunch of grandma's quilt ideas at him and a very rough set of sketches and collage pictures of what I wanted, and he turned out the sculpt exactly the way I envisioned it.
Super fast too.
Oh yeah. Painted stuff on my fridge, something I didn't know I needed. Yeah, but it does a lot for us because we wanted to, it's nice to have something that can be very cost constrained. It should be very inexpensive for people to get into. I'm hoping that we can target that. If we do it in the 3D printed world, I'd really like to target like we did with the miniatures in the Mother Lovin' Paint Party. I think that the most expensive one was like $30. I think it was like the $25 to $27 range. And so that's really where we're striving to get with this, but actually do some good packaging with it and things like that, so that stores could carry them if they wanted to. So we'll see. We're still working on all of those details, but they should be available soon.
Soon.
Soon. Hashtag air quotes soon. We'll figure it all out. We've shown you guys a lot of cool stuff this week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
So much.
New tools,
Bags.
Tools,
the bags,
Yeah.
the fluorescence.
The fluorescence. Yep.
We didn't show it this week, but we've talked again about the I can't believe it's not oil wash,
Can't believe it's
Yep,
not oil
yep.
right?
wash.
And now the miniatures. It's almost a thing a day.
And we've been telling you that brushes are going to be in stock tomorrow.
Yep.
Mm.
What a week for you guys.
If
Yeah,
anyone,
by the way,
if anyone cares.
Brushes in stock tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific. Be ready.
I kind of want to try the it's not oil wash on this army. I think it would look really nice.
Yeah. Nice thing, you can turn it to any color you want, which is super
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
right?
100%.
All right, I'm not going to work on highlights on that. I'm going to start framing everything else in around the face now
Needs eyebrows.
before I blend all that. What's that?
She needs eyebrows.
Nah.
Oh, I do need to do the eyebrows, don't I?
She don't need eyebrows.
Yeah, I do
Like,
need
what
to do the
is
eyebrows.
missing?
What color
Oh,
hair
it's
are we doing?
eyebrows.
Blonde.
She wants to be blonde? I think she does kind of want to be blonde, though.
Yeah.
It could be Jen. We could have blonde with a streak of magenta in her hair.
Ah!
That's not how this works. Gabe's stealing our soul.
Wait,
As Gabe's
I have no
soul
soul to
stealing.
steal.
That's true. You're safe. You're
Fluorescent
completely
green
safe.
hair.
What's that?
Fluorescent green hair.
Fluorescent green.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Sorry.
Gosu missed the tools. Watch the VOD.
Well, watch the VODs. Is that what Jen just said?
Yeah.
Watch the VODs. We got the
New clippers.
we got through the approval of the new clipper head, right? So it's longer and narrower, and then shallower. Not God hand shallow, because that'll break, and we hate that. But this is still a boxed-in clipper, so it has a lot of strength. Still a complete flush cut. We're super stoked about that. We've got a bit holder. Just a simple tool there. And then, I don't know what I did with the others. The forceps. Not in here anymore.
Are they in your tool thing?
I don't know. My tool thing?
Yes.
Do I have a tool thing? No.
Didn't randomly.
My regular forceps are. Somebody stole them. You stole them.
Of course I did.
I don't know why you steal my stuff.
There's also forceps, Gosu. For
What's
like,
that?
I'm just telling Gosu that there's more.
There's also forceps. I wonder if Carter came in and stole them. Oh, I think he did. Carter came in and took the forceps because there was a adjustment that needed to be made to them. There was a weak spot, so we have to go back to the die and thicken up part of the die so that the forceps, the handle, doesn't have any weak points in it, so to speak.
Mo wants to know if the pin vise will come with the drill bits and
Yes.
what sizes if they do.
0.5 to 3 is our goal. The current bit holder that I showed you doesn't hold a 3mm bit. So, but we will alter it to make it do so.
Oh. Gabe's got him.
Look at this guy. He's like running around.
Gabe went and got him. Oh god, they're stuck to a magnet.
I like this horse.
So
This is a cool model.
It's really neat.
our monument forceps, just a simple tool for parts holding. They are lockable forceps, so you can hold for pinning or for whatever you need to do. Sponges for sponge dappling when you're doing weathering and stuff. It'll stay locked without you having to force it. But you can also just use it, you know, as parts holder if you needed to pick something up and didn't need to lock it too. So they're good.
Oh, so you could like hold a piece and glue it to.
Yeah, like if you needed to hold a
Like
piece to
something
glue
really
together. I don't have
small
any,
and-
for the
yeah.
first time in my life, I don't have loose pieces on the deal. But yeah, so they have teeth that aren't ultra sharp, but good enough to hold a plastic bit if you needed to glue it in place. You know,
Oh. I got
and they can
something.
lock
Handy.
again, so that you don't have to be applying pressure. You could actually hold it like a pencil and put a very fine piece onto a model, an antenna, something like that. So forceps I've used for eons in the scale model world, and so we're just making our own. But we had to go back to the die and thicken it up around the handle portion because one of these might not be the pair. I think he grabbed a different pair, but there was a nick in the die here that we had to think about.
Or you could use them for holding open flayed flesh as you color match for your model painting.
Oh my gosh.
So I like your thinking, but
we
I
didn't.
like your enthusiasm.
We didn't say that. We read that as a potential use.
I like your enthusiasm, but
Suggested
kind of
by a
like don't eat
viewer.
the paint. Let's not flay the skin.
Yours or others?
We do not condone this usage, as handy as it might be. A potential lawsuit. Don't eat the paint. It's still so funny to me every time someone comments on the don't eat the paint post about, oh, you must have gotten sued. Paint liquor? No. No.
No. Are we giving paint liquor the big NO?
Yeah.
Always.
True.
I mean, that's why you go to the gym, isn't it, Despon? So you can eat donuts? Go for it.
I mean, you don't have to go to the gym to eat donuts.
Well, he's saying a donut before the gym seems like a good idea, right? Yes. Like a great idea.
Eyebrow?
Ah. The little, should be a little fuller.
No, I'm just getting a line.
Oh, okay. Like, that's a very 90s brow.
I was just getting the arch.
Yes.
It's in the sculpt, but
Yeah.
it's very faint so
Yeah.
that you could scrape it off if you wanted to and not alter the model too much, but
Yeah.
it is in the sculpt.
It's awesome. It's like the perfect raised to go with that smirk. Love it.
Starting to come together.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, because I'll usually do a pretty stark top of the brow. So I always sketch where I want the top of the eyebrow to be and then feather the underneath side. Because at this scale, you can't really do individual hairs
Yeah.
on it very well. But if you do a lot of just little bitty brush strokes moving back towards that initial line that you do,
you'll get that nice fuller.
kind of fuzzes it out a little bit, you know?
As long as there's texture there, usually you're good on the illusion of hair.
That full enough?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't think she's plucking her eyebrows, right? So
No.
you don't want unibrow.
All right. I think we're almost done on this guy.
Looking good. How many more? 90?
4 more horses with dudes on them. Although I might not do them this fancy. This was a lot of work.
All right, it's quitting time. I'm gonna go lock up.
Oh, you gotta go lock up.
Oh my
I will
gosh,
be
it's
back.
4 o'clock already?
It's 4
What the
o'clock
heck?
already. Yeah, I'll be right
Crazy, right?
You guys are... This is too much fun. We are having too much fun in here. We should not be allowed to have this much fun.
This is all dark golden brown, by the way. Great base for blonde.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Somebody
Thank you for the
likes
follow.
us. Thank you for the follow. Noob Cypher. Noob Cypher? Noob Cypher.
Noobsifer, I love it.
Yeah. Paint Liquor, I'm going through the Baby J experience of scale hell. It's called scale jail. Don't get it twisted.
Wart abort.
Wart abort?
He's painting warts, remember?
Oh. Yup.
What do we think? I want somebody. Is there anybody in chat who has never painted a bust, who, when looking at this model that I'm painting, feels like this might be the kind of model that could be your first quote unquote bust to paint, knowing that it's only the front half of a model, there's no back to paint. Virtually no back. The back of the axe, but who cares? Anybody? Yar, it's Tony. Good. Chuck. Gabe. Oh, yeah, Gabe. Not a lot of busts, right?
Gabe.
Because that's the whole idea here, is to expand on your painting horizons, which busts do great because they give you so much difference in scale. They will open your mind to a lot of painting techniques that you might just not ever get comfortable with at 30 millimeter, right? But they are daunting in their own way. Like, a lot of people don't want to take the leap because, number one, they can be pricey. You got to order from Italy or Europe. You get one that you like. scared to do new stuff, right? Particularly for adults. We've entrenched ourselves in our comfort zone, and sometimes it's really hard to move on. Yeah, but I think as adults, too, there's things that we can look at and we can be like, wow, I really want to do that, you know? Whereas I think at least for me, the younger I was, the easier it was for me to write off that stuff. Like, nah, I don't care, you know? As an adult, you're like, wow, I really would like to try that.
We have experienced more things in our life at this point.
Well, and I think we know we've learned the fear of missing out, right?
Yeah,
not FOMO in the sense of buying product FOMO, but the fear of not making a decision to do something might hold you back from other things that could be really cool.
Yeah.
Whereas a kid, you got so many experiences, you know, as a young adult, you got so many experiences going on. To pass one up is kind of like, nah, I'm just having fun doing what I'm doing right now. As an adult, at least for me, I like to embrace the fact that, you know, heck, I know what it's like to say no and then be like years later, I wish I would have done that.
Yep. Beep, 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 beep.
Quit it with the horns.
Somebody's honking a horn outside.
Quit it with the horns.
What did we ever do to deserve that?
So what's the over-under on us getting like a Phil, Gabe, Jacob invasion today?
Probably pretty low.
Pretty low?
Yeah. As much as I would enjoy that. As I always do.
Why, you think they all got stuff to do?
No. They might. Jacob might show up. He's usually pretty good about showing up when, when it's Thursday. But it's 4:04, so they would probably be here. I think Gabe has a movie night thing tonight.
Oh, nice.
I don't think he will be here. But you got me. I'm here.
Oh, joy.
Yay.
Oh, joy.
Fill yourself with excitement.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh, I'm threatening you with a good time right now.
If you mix a tad of the transparency in your metallics, you can get some nice tinted metal. Yes, definitely. And it is a less is more unless you thin the transparent first. Remember that thinning the transparent first can give you something that will not be as aggressive in changing the metallic, rather than mixing it in and then trying to thin the whole mix, right? So take like, a good one to try is take transparent blue, right? Thin it way down and then mix it into bronze. You get a really, really good tarnished yellow metal that's great for like orc armor, something where you know you want a lot of gritty, dirty armor anyway.
That's how I'm getting all the color shift on the metal that I'm doing here. Is I'm mixing in transparent blue, transparent green, and a touch of yellow. Then using some transparent brown to bring that warmth in.
Yeah.
Our transparents play very, very well with our metallics.
It was a big day.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Was it?
got we closed the final bit of the deal on our new paint filling apparatus.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right.
So,
That is
chat,
exciting.
you want to nerd out with us on some really cool stuff that you don't care about at all? We embarked on a journey about 4 months ago on our first
Hey, somebody
designing,
likes us.
and maybe it's been longer than that. Hell, it may have been 6 months ago now.
It was
It's been pretty much this whole year,
Yeah.
now
It's
that I think about it.
you started after I was here.
Yeah.
Two kinds of ways in my
But we've
pants.
embarked on a journey to Mike Disney, we got a raid.
Oh my God! Hello.
Hey,
Mike,
somebody
happy
likes
stream
us.
anniversary, by the way.
What
I
up?
think it was Mike's anniversary today.
Was it? Congratulations! Happy anniversary.
Big Mike, how the hell you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome, Raiders.
We got all sorts of raiders up in here.
Hey, somebody
Hello.
likes us.
Welcome, everybody. If you are new around here, we are Monument Hobbies. My name is Jason. That over there is Jordan. I'm the good-looking one. He's the smart one.
Sometimes.
Ask him all the questions and just stare at me in wonder.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Hi. Hello. I am Question Boy.
I am Question Boy. Oh my God, we got to make a super suit for you out of that one.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Thank you for the follows,
Thank you for
everybody.
the follows.
Sorry, Jen, our producer, has stepped out to lock all the doors as it is 4 o'clock.
Hey,
And the crew
somebody
here at the
likes
factory
us.
are all headed home.
Except
She'll
for
be back
us.
in a minute.
We're hanging out, having a good time.
When song 491 Phantom Zambies. It's Mike's birthday. Wait a minute. I heard anniversary. It's your birthday?
Sounds like both?
Stream anniversary and birthday?
That's crazy.
Mike, happy birthday, my man.
Happy birthday.
Hope you're doing well.
I would sing, but Jason would hit me.
Art of Mike Disney has been around for a long time
Yeah?
as part of the awesome painting community here on Twitch.
Heck yeah.
He was early viewer, bought into this whole crazy, what if we stream painting for people idea.
Everyone's like, ooh, yes.
Is this the future?
Let us see it.
Is this the future?
Zambies now knows how to fly as a result of Mike Disney.
Nivek says it's both. Okay, good. So I didn't hear wrong. I just didn't hear all. All right, well, good. Don't want to spread false rumors.
Well,
I mean, maybe. But Mike, happy birthday. And I hope everybody in stream that's coming over from Mike Disney's is having a wonderful time. Hope you had a great time with Mike. Welcome to our little end of the internet.
where we make funny jokes.
Do we, though?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Do we, though, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yup,
Alright.
like that one. That was a joke. It was
All
funny.
right.
Right? Yeah.
That was a lie, is what that was. I don't know if
Hey,
that counts
now.
as a joke. I think we have to distinguish. We have to lay out a glossary of terms for people here, because this is the Lying Liar Who Lies Club as well. So it's a very mixed bag, right?
your mixed bag.
One of us never lies, and the other one always lies.
I never lie.
How do you figure out who is who?
That's, I don't have a tag. Seems pretty simple.
Malev, what city is the green city and the city's a Sigmar city color coordination designation?
Mine.
Chumpenstein.
Chumpenstein.
The city of Chumpenstein.
Oh my gosh.
It's on the top of Mount Chumpster.
The I have no idea. I just happened upon this color scheme and thought it was
somebody
cool.
likes
Give
us.
Jace a rule breaker.
This is very adverse to how I typically will paint armies, though, because I usually like painting studio schemes. Because, you know, I have a background in doing that. And I like replicating that kind of stuff.
Hey, somebody likes us.
More like from the chat. Oh, yay.
Come on, everybody.
Your boy, Heavy T. Hello. City of Soul. I do not have a soul, remember, Mo? We talked about this. Or I should say Jason talked about this.
You talked about it, which is how I know about it. And I've been repeating it.
I feel like this is a lie.
Did you or did you not say you were soulless?
I've been pleading the fifth.
See? See? What style did you bust on that back ass armor on the horse?
What? This?
Yeah. A lot of
What?
metallics with a little bit of transparency.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's basically you mix transparents into our metallics, and you get cool colors, and you use a lot of color. Oh my god, another raid! And then you use colors
Who dat?
to create dark. Marco.
Marco Frazzoni.
Yeah, with another raid. Jen is just missing out on all this.
Jen steps out.
And
for
then
a few
everything
minutes to
happens.
lock up the office.
I know, it's
And
crazy.
the crowd gets restless.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, everybody. Raider number 2.
Hi. Hi,
Mr.
Marco. Hello. Hello, Raiders.
Marco Frazzoni.
Crypt Shadow, it is most definitely some new Cities of Sigmar stuff.
All right, first thing I want everybody to do here is I want for all of the Raiders, whether from Mike Disney or from Marco's channel, I want you to both, if you have not, including the people that are here already, click on Marco's name, click on Mike Disney's name, and go give them a follow. Just stop what you're doing, go give them a follow. It's free. It helps a streamer out.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Crypt Shadow, yeah, that's the new Cities of Sigmar mounted guys.
Yep. The Free Guild Cavaliers.
And this bust that I am painting is a series of cameos that we are doing. This is a Monument Hobbies miniature.
Hey,
You
somebody
can
likes
barely
us.
see the Monument M on the back there inlaid. But this is a series of one-piece cameo models that we are doing as training models so that you can use them. Marco could use them to train people how to paint. We're calling them internally texture trainers because the intention is for them to have a lot of varied forms of texture on them so that it can give you a good palette for choosing to practice leather, steel, hair, fur, skin, stone, wood, cloth. We've got a cloth cape, cloth bag, leather straps, hardened leather armor, steel pauldron, stone axe, wood shaft on the axe, leather wraps on this and that, and skin and hair and fur around the neck. So a great way for you to be able to take a lot of varied materials and practice at a very low cost. So here you go. This is our first test print, and I have decided to start throwing paint at her.
And we almost had a Jacob.
I was just gonna say, are you gonna sit down, Jacob? Bye.
Bye. I guess we were both wrong.
And plaid, practicing
And
painting
plaid. You can definitely
yes.
practice painting plaid
Practice
on
your
the back.
plaid.
You can paint
You
the whole back
guys
plaid.
in your plaid.
But the idea here being that a lot of people are very ill-tuned to pick up their first bust. It's a very daunting hurdle to get over. And so this gives you the scale of painting a bust, which enlarges the areas. It allows you better room to practice. It allows you to have a looser hand until you gain confidence in how you paint things like leather and non-metallic metal if you want to, or even true metallics, whatever. It gives you a larger space to do it, but it's not as daunting because you only have to paint the front. Like, there's literally no back, really, to paint. You know, a couple things, but you can focus here and spend all your time here and creating your story and your lighting and your shadows and your values and volumes and not worry about what that does as we have to, you know, rotate out of the forward facing, because on a larger model, as soon as you're done with the front, you got to make sure it flows correctly in value to the side and then of course to the back and pull it all together as a composition. And so this can be daunting in larger scale for people. So here, start this way. Boom. And at a price point where you can paint it once, practice. If you don't like it, prime over it and try again, right? But the back is the most important part. Lies. Lies. There is no back. There is no spoon.
Malev, you'll be able to get one.
Don't tell him that. Don't make him feel special.
Wait, what? I'm special?
Everybody's gonna be able to get one. It's a thing. It's coming.
Don't let that guy
soon.
Malev just have one.
Soon.
Yeah, we're just working out the production details on them now. I'm hoping that Malev will get a special one. Marco, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, well, there'll be a set of 4. Well, it won't be a set. We might, I don't know, we might sell them as a set. There'll be 4 sculpts that we're looking at doing. So Yeah. Hit me up, I'll send you one. There you go. So it's not just Malev. But we've baked quite a bit into the sculpt, but given the artist a lot of freedom on how to attack it, you know. So basically a flat 2D rendering without being flat and 2D was the concept, so that you could get as artistic as you'd like with it. We didn't leave you a tremendous amount of like open areas where you felt like you had to do freehand or something, because I think that winds up being daunting too. As you're learning, this model would take a wash very good if you're still in that process where you're trying to learn how to base coat, wash, and then highlight and find your values back out of that shading. It's still great for that. It's got a lot of textures on it just physically in the sculpt. It's sculpted by William Tsang. If you're familiar, he sculpted a lot of amazing models in the world. So we're very, very pleased with the outcome. The next one will be a sci-fi male model that will have more hard surfaces and straight lines for that type of highlighting. Here we have a lot more natural surfaces, a lot more lines that curl over themselves and give you softer edges. Even the axe, right? So we'll be exploring different things. There will be a monster one that will be a little bit more of an exploration in flesh, but flesh that can be more alien or, you know, Nurgle plague flesh type thing. And then the fourth one's yet to be determined. We may or may not do a fourth one. It just depends on how we feel about the first three and if they cover all the bases. Obviously, there could be any number of these, but the idea being training material is that they become repetitive so that, you know, you get used to seeing them, especially on the channel here where we might talk about, hey, how do we paint dark flesh? And we bust one of these out and paint it with dark skin.
Yep.
And then can hold it up against the exact same model with light skin and get a feel for how the story changes, how the lighting can be manipulated by, you know, swapping hues. And so it's a very selfish product because we wanted it.
Hey, the best product is a selfish product that works for everyone.
That's like most of our products.
Yeah, most of our products are products we make
Also,
because
yes.
we want them. You know, we're like, hey, you know what I really want? I want this. Okay, let's make it. So.
Speaking of, I need to mix up that color that I want us to make. I can show you.
Ginger Bee, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub.
Thank you so much.
Spatsnat said I didn't catch what color you switched to after the golden brown.
It's not. It's still dark golden brown. If you're asking me, this is still dark golden brown.
Well, huzzah, huzzah.
Based, I did the eyebrows in dark golden brown, and obviously when you do it in larger area like this, it becomes a lighter color. But this is how I'm just basing for blonde hair. And I'm just talking so much that I'm not making much progress. What else is new? I know.
Paint fast.
Crypt Shadow, it depends on how badly you want the ice cream. Because I feel like if you want it now, then you probably don't make it. Because that would take a long time.
Dark golden brown is such a goody, like dark, dirty blonde color.
Yep. Yes, it is. It is fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic, in fact.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Fan-freaking-tastic, yeah. Pull the Jasonism out of the hat.
What?
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Thank you, Ginger Bee.
Have a great night. Enjoy thinking about...
Can you scroll back up? Who, oh, Marco! Have a great night. Thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Give me a shout on Facebook or something, and we'll get you hooked up with one of these. Same for you, Malev. Ping me.
Ping, 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 ping,
I
ping,
want to be
ping,
clear
ping.
that I wasn't saying Malev could get it early. He said he wanted one, and I said you'll be able to get one.
He's always pulling strings. He knows a guy. He makes a call.
Oh.
Malevi's like, I'm off to Facebook. Too late now. Good night, Marco. But scroll back up. Somebody had said something about the
You
skull.
guys enjoy thinking about getting your go bags for Christmas.
So are these just your faces on stuff? No. But a wizard would be fun. But I don't want it to be of me. That's not it. No.
Was it this? A great missing
No.
link?
I thought it was something else. Oh well.
If anyone had a question that we haven't answered,
Yeah, I thought it looked like a question that I thought we missed, but no.
maybe type it in. Yeah, I mean, I was
It's
gone,
not that far
so
off. It's not that far off.
Okay. Spatsnat said, in case I have to leave early, could you run through the colors you plan on using for the blonde hair?
So dark golden brown, and then I like to generally, depending on, I kind of want it warmer, right? If I want cool blonde, meaning that I don't want it to, I want it to look dirtier, basically, right? Then I would just go from this to maybe golden brown, and then maybe a glaze of like a camo green, and then into, you know, my highlight colors, which could be another layer of golden brown, and then I'd probably jump from that into pale yellow, something along those lines. I'm thinking I'll probably use some burnt orange on this, and put burnt orange midtones in it because I want it a little bit warmer, a little bit more maybe, what's that called, auburn? It's like
Auburn
reddish,
is like brown.
like
Or
strawberry
auburn is
blonde.
like reddish, yeah.
Auburn, I don't know, whatever.
Auburn would be more like brownish. red.
Okay, yeah, I don't know hair colors. The warrior woman looks like Jen.
Huh.
Really?
Not as much as Jordan's model looks like him.
That's true. There's Jordan.
I still think he looks like an older Jordan.
It is an
That
old.
guy's
Yeah.
got better styled hair.
He's got.
Well, I
some
haven't gotten my
hair
hair cut
going.
in a while,
So
to be fair.
See, I think that's the thing, though. You wouldn't want to cut it because it's definitely
I mean, yeah.
long.
This guy's got,
Yes,
yeah.
he's got hair.
He's got the sides shaved, which is typically how I have my hair done.
if you wouldn't renegotiate with a shinobi, there is that. There is that. We're always afraid of Malev because he could like show up in the night, silent.
Yeah.
You'd never know it. Like about that bust, Jason.
Okay.
You have not liked the weird spiky hair. Oh, on the model?
On this guy?
On the Jordan model.
It makes it feel like we're missing a helmet that he's been wearing the whole time.
He does.
got-
There
he's
is a
got helmet
helmet
head.
option for this model.
Oh, there is?
Unironically, yeah. So you can have the sword on this side
Uh-huh.
or the sword on this side. There's a hammer version for either side. There's a helmet option where he's holding it in his right arm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because that's like helmet head, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel Malev has manners and knocks on the door
This
first?
guy has terrible hair.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
This guy has actually terrible hair.
He also looked like. I mean, he's like got bedhead.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks
his
just like
weird,
it looks like
gigantic
we've
head.
been out all day fighting.
Yeah.
It's sweat and dirt caked, and it's
Which is
just
great.
doing its own thing.
That's great though. That's
Winds, if there's like helmet hair or windswept hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
But his cloak is not like flapping in the wind, so.
No.
Burnt orange.
Oh, did you tell the colors that you're going to use for blonde?
Well, that's what I'm working on now.
But in case he has to leave, he wanted to know what your plan was.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
They'll take the big number 6 and just a lot of water in the brush so we get the orange, the burnt orange, so it acts like this. Right? And then just kind of play with it in and amongst the golden brown. Doesn't have to change the color of everything, but I want to bring some warmth in there.
Paint Linker wants to know if we know if we have a video on wood texture on YouTube.
Wood texture on YouTube. There's maybe an old one where we talked about using transparency
I feel like there is.
on wood.
If you Paint Linker, if you search on our page for transparent, I think that sounds familiar actually. Leonius Rex Studio said, I was told I missed the neon preview. Is that in yesterday's stream? It is.
Yep.
on a couple of the ones
And in many
recently.
others. Yeah, we've shown them off several times.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got 6 fluorescent colors scheduled for sometime before the end of the year. Black Friday, perhaps? All sorts of cool new stuff. These models. I'm just kind of streaking the orange in there, if you can see. Right? Not really traditional painting as such.
Ginger beef what? Adult video store.
What?
Huh?
Hello?
What?
If you saw my car there, it wasn't mine.
Do those places still exist? They can't possibly.
What?
Adult video stores.
I mean, along the
all
highway
on
when
the
you're
internet.
traveling, you still see the adult stores. I don't know
Well,
what
adult
they do.
stores. Yeah, so adult stores, but not just videos. Right, it's where you go and
You buy adult
buy
things.
toys and costumes and like the duck from the challenge. He got that at an adult store probably.
It's on its way down here, I think.
It
Yep.
is?
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to shoot him some
Dor-
PayPal.
Yeah, Dorgosaurus
That's
sent it out.
awesome.
Forgot to. He sent me a message in Discord, and I never got around to answering. But I need to figure out because I didn't realize he was in Canada.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I gotta be like, that cost a fortune to ship. Let me send you money.
Wait, so the adult store is you've never seen open, or the donut store you've never seen open? The donut store has never been open. Okay, the adult store is open all the time.
Is there a donut store in the adult store? What are you talking about?
Hey,
don't know.
whoa, what?
I'm getting
No.
lost.
You don't do this.
That kind of conversation is going on here.
Damn. The duck was awesome. The new adult video store is called The Internet. Exactly.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, nobody really.
Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram. That's funny but true. It's unironically, hilariously true.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Saw business that the group that I'm part of when I go to my training on Tuesday when I missed the show, and one of them I got a business card and their business name breaks down to OF, and so the logo is OF, and here's me going, that's got to be
OnlyFans.
tricky navigating that these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. I bet the first piece of advice they
Well,
got is
huzzah,
change the
huzzah.
name.
I'll just throw back my
Move
legs
away
and
from
pollute
OF
my
being
britches
your
with delight.
Impending
Representative.
Duff gifted a tier 1 sub to Nivek Eats Paint.
Oh, what up?
It was nice stuff.
You
Hello,
Duff?
Duff, and thank you.
But they only sell fans.
What's that?
Only fans. They only sell fans.
They only sell fans.
they sell a
but it's
lot
hot in
more than
Arizona, so they're
fans.
really big here.
They sell a lot more than fans, let me tell you.
Mo, no, they're not sending us a duck from an adult store. They're sending us a duck who has purchased something from an adult store. The duck made the adult store purchase and is utilizing it. That's what we're getting.
It's in the September challenge. Or,
It's like, you can
August
just go
challenge.
look on Discord. This one you're just gonna
Look for
have to see for
Dorcosaurus
yourself,
in-
but it's gonna
in
be in my
August.
case
Yeah.
in the office here pretty soon.
I don't think the duck's name is Howard, no. The Gimp Duck, yes.
That was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, so a little bit of warmth
That looks pretty.
with the burnt orange. Now I'm thinking that we might take some yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. Very muted. He, you know, the way Jordan's painting these guys just brings the saturation out in the highlights, which leaves it very punchy without having to go with super bright colors. So, as an old way of painting like scale models, you'd stay in a desaturated palette or the muted palette you're talking about for most of what you do, allowing yourself to only break out of that vibrancy to be able to use what would traditionally be mid-tone colors as highlights and get really punchy color out of it, right?
Paint liquor.
Which is
Have a
exactly
good
what he's
night.
done. Like,
Have a
there's
good
nothing
weekend.
brighter than, what, yellow-green there?
And enjoy your dinner.
Other
Yeah.
than, like, the stuff on the cream for the horse and
Sure,
such, and
yeah,
the metallics.
yeah.
But,
It's, I mean, it went up to like faded green,
oh, okay.
but I glazed back over it, which
I was going to
knocked it
say,
back
yeah,
down.
there's none of that showing natively.
Right.
All right, so we'll keep this fairly thick, but we'll get rid of most of it off of the brush. We're not trying to go for a glaze consistency on the yellow. We just don't want a lot of paint on the brush. So I can use the side of the brush to kind of find my way around the tops. Imagine, you know, kind of fake dry brushing. You don't want to dry brush here because you don't want the texture. But you can use the side of the brush and kind of flick it along to pick up the high spots in the hair. The hair sculpt on this is fantastic. It's got really great clumping and separation so that it keeps the feel of hair.
That's awesome, Wad.
What's that?
You said the best adult store I ever went to was in Florida when I was down there for school. It was 2 stories, and all over the store were Polaroids of people caught shoplifting with a list of what they were caught with.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
I've seen not adult stores do that,
Yeah,
where they will name and shame you.
yeah.
It's great that it's an adult store, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Well, it's
the
even better.
funniest part. Yeah.
The problem is that the only people that are seeing it also don't want to admit they saw your picture in the adult.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a
Right?
little-
Yeah, so you're not
a
going
little
to get called
backwards.
out.
You're not getting the full value of the name and shame because everybody that's there would just
Well,
be
some
telling
of them
you.
might. Some of them are like, hey, yeah, that's awesome. I saw you.
And then you're like, wait a second, you saw me there?
Right before they get slapped by their wife.
Yep.
How did you know he was on?
Phoenix Mercer, it's not. No.
Phoenix, is that a Gen Warrior? Nope. Is that what you were just saying?
Yeah, I already said that, yeah.
No, it is a new line of models that we have created that we're calling them texture trainers. We're going to find some more fun name for going out to the world with them. But they are painting trainers, right? So like wearing water wings. They let you have at it with textures without the full impact of like a display model, right? But can still be really, really neat ways to try new techniques, explore new things you want to do with your painting style.
Yeah, we went from flat but busty from Death Spawn to Flat Busties. Jason shortened it.
Alright. Very close to being the guy.
That's gonna look pretty good.
Nice.
And just 3 colors: dark golden brown, burnt orange, yellow ochre will get us most of the way there, and then we can use something like pale yellow or heavy warm white to start doing the shine in the hair. We might have to do some more glazing to smooth this out, because I'm being really chunky and abrupt with my placement of the yellow ochre. We might go in with the airbrush and smooth this out before we're done, but for now this gets us the bulk all the way there. Ideas for an army you don't own but want to own? Oof. That's the tough one. That puts us on the hook for being the reason you spend the money.
Uh.
I feel like that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Right? Damn it. That's Jen's over there going, that's kind of what we do. Kind of who we are.
I definitely.
You do know what we do, right?
I mean, when I bought this at Nova, this box, I was like, dope. I kind of want these things, but I can paint them on stream, so that's great. Be good content. Like, cha-ching, $200 later.
So now you're rationalizing it all out.
Exactly.
Technically blaming us.
No, why would I blame you?
Technically blaming us.
If I really wanted to, I could blame chat.
I always do. Chat or Jen. One of the two.
Hey,
To be fair, Jen wasn't at Nova, so I can't blame Jen.
thank you.
Yeah, you can.
Although Jen
Why are you here?
signs my paychecks.
Yep. Why are you
so
here? Jen.
I only had money to buy it because Jen gave me money.
There you go. Jen's fault.
So, sorry, Jen. It's your fault.
What? You made that choice.
You put the money in my hand.
Not.
You allowed me to make the choice.
I gave
If it weren't for you,
money.
She's
in
enabling.
I would not have been
exchange
able to.
for-
Jen's the enabler.
I mean, I can stop giving you money if you.
I was gonna say this is a very
Prefer.
dangerous road for you to walk down, by the way,
I
because
can-
Jen's
I
over
can
there going,
certainly.
I'm
Note
very
to
happy
self.
receiving
Payment.
money. Thank
note
you.
to self: next Thursday,
I'll put that money right in my pocket.
Jordan does not get added to paycheck list.
I definitely would like to be able to pay my rent. That would be good. Seems like an important thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
Eh.
Nice to have a front door that you can walk into.
Tell them you're an influencer. See if they'll work out some sort of
Yeah.
deal for
for promo.
rent for promo. You'll talk about the
I think
apartment
this would be
complex.
mutually beneficial for both of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
yep.
The
Think
exposure.
about the
great,
possibilities.
A great business relationship.
Think about
for
the exposure
me.
apartment guy. Are you not hip to how the world works these days?
Crypt Shadow said, "Is there a name for that style of painting, Jordan, so I can remember it in the future?"
What do you mean? What particular? I don't know if I would call anything that I'm doing a particular style.
It's Jordan's style.
Jordan just paints fast.
I do paint fast.
If you hang out, you'll get it through osmosis.
Yeah, that didn't look like that at the beginning of stream.
No. No, it did not.
It's the Baby J special.
The Baby J special. It's
It's got to have a catchy name, you know. Everything's
J
got to have a
special?
catchy name like Slap Chop and
Jesus.
And-
Oh my god.
all those.
He just broke him.
Don't get me started on freaking slap chop.
Welcome to the world of influencers. Speaking of the devil.
Jordanista Colorifica.
Y'all are crazy.
What's it called?
That doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Slap
No.
Chop.
All right, only like 5 more horses to go
The punch kicker method.
with some
The
dudes
wham
on them.
bam.
This is the wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
It does sound fancier than Slap Chop. That's true. Sounds a little more elevated
Elevated.
than Slap
Oh
Chop.
my god, she's really poking all my buttons right now. She watches these food shows, and if I have to hear another like self-proclaimed chef talk about how this is an elevated version of pork chops, this is an
It's the
elevated
judges.
grilled
What did
cheese.
you?
Or how about
What are you gonna? The guy with the bald guy.
deconstructed grilled cheese sandwich with a pork
It's
chop on the side?
deconstructed and elevated.
The
is
bald
their
guy
favorite
with
two
the
things.
with the tennis shoes with his dress pants and stuff is the the one who challenges them like, okay, so what are you gonna do to elevate this?
Oh my god. Nothing.
And then they say,
Stop.
well, I'm gonna make it a deconstructed. It's gonna be a
Whatever.
deconstructed grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh my god.
They have to have it like in their contract that these are the words you're allowed to
Yeah,
use.
these are your
Elevated,
buzzwords.
deconstructed. Gordon Ramsay's great. The British Bake Off. I think we've watched that, haven't we?
I've watched it before, yeah.
Is that the one they do in a tent out in a
Yeah.
field with the old lady who's
It's elevated because I put it on a tray and lifted off the table. Or no, put it on a tray 1 foot off
Oh,
the table.
speaking of TV shows,
uh-oh.
I convinced Jen to maybe look at watching one
Uh-oh.
the other day.
Why are you doing this to me?
And it's
I
a good
can't
one. You
remember
probably
which
want to watch
one.
it too.
I can't remember which one. It's something on
Severance.
Apple.
Severance.
Severance.
Yep.
Oh, that's the one, yeah, where they go to work and forget about their life outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's a fantastic show, but it's very weird.
Clarktron said, I see a lot of people do their basing before painting, priming or painting, but here you're doing it after. Any reason for one way or the other?
Whatever's easier.
Largely preference.
Yeah, or preparation. Like, I probably in a better world, I would have done it ahead of time. But I prepped this model the night before and then didn't have time to do the basing before stream, so I just started painting it.
Deconstructed.
He's elevating it.
Yep. This model is elevated. Just saying.
Because he's on a horse.
On a horse, on a paint handle, on a desk
Oh
that's
my.
above the floor.
Oh.
It's
my
elevated.
It's elevated.
That is
God.
definitely elevated.
Freaking elevated.
I'm painting blonde hair.
She's got nice hair. Very healthy looking.
Elevate your painting by basing the model on 7 layers of cork sheets? No, thank you.
Finished Echo season 3. Do not recommend. You watched
Okay.
the whole season? If you don't recommend it, why did you watch the whole season? Oh, Echo 3 season 1.
Yeah.
But still, why'd you watch the whole season?
What is Echo 3?
No idea. It's apparently a show that we
something
shouldn't
that we're not
watch.
going to ever watch. It had you till the end. Oh, geez, those are the worst.
Senor Clean.
That's how I felt
17.
about The Last of Us.
Thank you, Fall. You didn't like
Hey,
The Last of Us?
somebody
at the end?
likes us.
The ending didn't finish, right? It made it like there was still too much that I wanted to see.
Yeah, it's because there's gonna be a second season.
Well, I didn't. Well, I know that.
Oh,
I thought it was a one thing.
no. There are 2 games.
Oh, okay.
There's a sequel, yeah.
Senior Clean. Thank you for the follow.
Senior Clean. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. Like the story in the show ends like right where the story in the game ends for the first game.
Oh. That would be annoying. That's, I guess, how they get you to play the second game.
Well,
right?
the thing is, I don't think the second game came out for a long time. I think.
See,
yeah.
that's
And
terrible.
I think it was generally just a one.
I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have the resolution that you want it to have.
No. I never played the game. I don't care about that. I'm watching the show. I want it to end.
Yeah.
I'm very entitled.
Well, I mean,
I'm very entitled.
it did end. It just had maybe less of a concrete ending that you might.
Didn't I look at you, Jason, and be like, "What? That's it?"
Yeah, she was like, wait a minute. She had to go look and see there's more episodes, right? Like, I think that's...
I'm like, wait, I thought this was the last one. I
was
thought
like,
we
yep.
were on the finale.
I was like, this is going to be one of those shows.
Wow.
This is what we get. This is what we're doing now. It was a good show, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a very faithful adaptation.
I didn't play the game, but for like a couple minutes before I determined it was not for me.
I did the same exact thing, which is really funny.
Oh.
I was like, nope, I'm not into these. I gotta hide from things.
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
Not
and
my
the
game.
show almost lost me.
Well, in the very beginning, it was
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, I was like, I
What do you
can't
mean?
watch
And
this.
the game is exactly
It
the
was
same.
way too
the game is
stressful.
very high pulse.
I was like,
Oh, at the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, like at the very, very beginning. The prequel part? Oh, it's intense.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was at least one other scene that made me feel the same way. I can't remember at what point it happened in the show, but it was very similar, and I was like, I thought we were done with all this.
Yeah. It's
I just felt like there should have been more. Like I literally was like, that's it? That's the last episode? That's all we get? I felt like there should have been more.
I mean, to be fair, they do it the way the story goes in the show.
I know, but I don't play
Nobody
the
cares.
game, so I don't know.
They've already had a second game, so there's the continuation of this story.
Yeah.
So it doesn't translate well when you've been playing and you've had stick time playing the game for a month or whatever,
It's true.
versus watching it. You know,
I'm curious to see what they do. I'm curious.
the second game was met with a lot of
Yeah.
negative comments. It got like Game of the Year and all that, but I think that was sort of forced.
Yeah. Are any of those things ever really like not rigged sort of thing?
I don't know. Again, I don't play it, so
I don't know who votes for those sort of things.
the Academy.
Yeah, right. And that's
Always a
super
faceless
not
academy.
rigged.
It's 4:51, so you know where we are on time.
Having fun painting hair.
Yeah.
I love it when something we make gives me this kind of feeling,
Yeah.
because the textures and the sculpt here is fantastic.
There's an interview with the vampire series.
Yes. Oh my god.
Wait, a series? What the heck?
Yeah.
Mo said it was well done if you like that junk.
The interview with the Vampire series is well done.
He said the interview with the vampire the series was well done if you like that junk.
Not really selling it.
I mean, the movie was pretty good. I remember that. From way back when. I liked that movie.
I think for me, That one's a tough one because I would really think I'd have to go back and read the book, and I hate Anne Rice writing.
I have never read the book, so for reference,
Pretty sure I read the Interview with the Vampire. I don't think I read any of the others.
I have never read anything that Anne Rice has written. Never.
Well, don't pick up The Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Movie is meh. The books are wordy AF.
I like the movie.
Thank you for whoever said that.
As Nivik eats paint. Don't eat the paint, by the way.
Yeah, Nivik.
Don't do it. You're not allowed to do it.
I love how we still have people going, somebody got sued.
Yeah.
People are.
I'm like, no.
3
Nobody gets
pages to
sued.
describe
We're
what
just here
some
to help.
vampire is wearing.
Oh
That's
my
how I
God.
felt about the Twilight books.
Welcome to
too.
Anne Rice. Don't read The Mummy because she takes like 3 pages to describe the engraving on the doorknob to the room that she's going into.
They were well-dressed vamps, though.
Perhaps overdressed?
I mean, they dress like that in What We Do in the Shadows, too.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. The
Nope.
whole like modern
Monument hobbies. Nothing we
Victorian.
make is edible.
Hey, we're Monument Hobbies. We don't make food products. So don't eat the paint. Does that mean eat the paint?
No.
So does that mean eat the soap?
Oh,
No. Also does not mean eat the soap.
your logic's a little flawed. That I just had a flash as that went through my head. So there's so if I can't eat the paint, I can eat the soap, right? It's like a child being like, stop jumping on the couch. So they jump on the chair.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not that's not. But you gotta give them credit, right?
Creative idea.
Because they heard you,
And they listened.
and then they're pressing your buttons.
We would never say that person's name. We would say, he who shall not be named says, or he who shall not be named wants to know. Because you can't trick us like that. We're smarter. Smarter than that.
If somebody named themselves Eat the Paint,
Yeah.
we're on to you. All right, I think that's a good stopping point for hair for today.
Hey, it looks good.
Yeah, Mythic Props. We've had the Journeyman miniatures on our website for a long time, and we also have Mindwork miniatures on our website. They're not available through stores from us at this time.
I think I need to change the color of this glow.
What?
I like the pink. What are you talking about?
Do you think
What?
the pink looks
Oh
good?
my god, it looks
Take the
great with
pink
all the
away?
other colors because it's just such an aberration, which is what's in that pot.
Yeah.
Now remember, some stories are told better by not matching in. You watch too many color theory videos and they'll have you having everything match. And that ain't the way the world works. Death Spawn says, I eat the paint and I'm not dead. Yet.
I
Not the
mean,
point.
it seems like you were, right? Or death spawn.
Asabal says, won't kill you, but still, not best for the stomach.
I have dishes to do when I get home. Laundry. Why do we have to be
Adulting.
adults?
I know,
Jeez.
right?
Man, adulting sucks.
So much more fun.
Although I got the
being a
cooking out of the way
kid.
last night. which is
You what?
good. I got the cooking out of the way.
Whatever happened to electric
Took
salmon?
forever.
It's one of the colors that's actually still on our list of colors that could see the light of day.
Eclectic salmon?
Yeah. Eclectic salmon. All right.
She looks good.
So with me, I taught you some underpainting. We started with just purple, red, and green on her flesh, and then went up to the flesh tones. We'll go back and add more shading and highlights as we get other colors around the skin dialed in. But I'll work from probably the fur around the neck next, and then leather and all of that. But fun model so far.
Leonidas
liking
Rex, no one said you couldn't chew on the bottle caps. That's between you and your dentist.
I mean,
Don't do it!
We don't recommend it.
Don't do it.
we were all taught as adolescents not to eat the paint in art class. Were they still doing that? Are they still towing that line? Spat snat, we don't want to know. We don't want to know. We don't want pictures of any of this.
Yeah, pretty much a staple. We talk about it every day. Don't eat the paint. It's because of chat. It's
Ginger,
because
you
they keep
bastard.
bringing it up. We would be done with this topic completely if chat would stop suggesting people eat the paint.
Oh my god.
Goobertown,
Goobertown.
Goobertown.
Mr.
We're
Brent.
just leaving.
What up?
What the heck is up with you?
Was today the release day of the
Yeah.
fancy video?
Yeah, they released the video, the one-page rules video with Mini Wargaming Dave, and Goobertown Brent was released on the socials today.
Blockbuster battle reports.
Happy to have been one of the two sponsors, so it's awesome stuff. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you.
Revicar, thank you.
Cara.
Jen
Thank you so
cracks you
much.
up.
I'm glad.
Jen's the funniest one here, low key. Yeah, the models looked really good. The camera work is really good. Go check it out if you have not. Just go on YouTube to Goobertown Hobbies, which is Brent's channel. And he's got the full battle report up, and then Mini Wargaming Dave has more of a condensed 10 minutes, this is Wargaming type thing. It doesn't really talk anything about the rules, anything about how the game plays. You won't learn anything about one-page rules game in there. It's just kind of an homage to tabletop gaming. Also very cool. But Brent's has got all the meat and potatoes. Great video. Shows you the actual gameplay of one-page rules. So if you can kind of get an idea of, they do free rule sets, and then they have a Patreon where you can subscribe and get a lot of cool models for 3D printing. So just kind of a neat thing. Even if you just do it as a sidebar to one of the main games that you play, I think it's a good one to go delve into. We have a couple of the guys here. I know Christopher and Gabe just shot a video last night where they did some rules stuff with one-page rules, and they've been playing it a lot. They really like how quick it is to get your list built and get on the table and play a game. It goes a lot faster.
It's very simple.
Yeah, it's like a larger army game that plays like a skirmish game almost, time-wise. It's just very quick. Stuff dies fast. Looks like a lot of fun. So go check them out. If you have not, give Goobertown Brent a follow. Remember all the people that rated us today. Big Mike Disney.
Marco.
Search. He's probably not here. But Art of Mike Disney here on Twitch. Make sure to go check him out. Drop him a follow. It was his birthday today. And then Marco Frazzoni. Mr. Marco. Go give that man a follow as well. Two wonderful painters and great community members. So thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, if you're new here, hit that follow button. We stream 5 days a week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like tomorrow coming up, we do our hobby lunch from noon Pacific time here in the U.S. till 2 p.m. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, like today, we started that 2 p.m. slot a little bit later and go till 5 p.m. All times Pacific. So it gives you 5 chances during the week to catch up with us. We've got a lot of other places you can catch up with us too. The store and the Discord links that Jen just put in chat are great ways to do it. The store for all of your wonderful Monument Hobbies products. The Discord to come hang out with thousands of other artists just like yourself. Have good times, make new friends, talk hobby, nerd stuff, fart jokes, whatever you want.
Fart jokes.
Fart, well, yeah, every now and then. Well, maybe poop jokes.
Well, those are technically the same thing.
Not if you're lucky.
That's
Also,
true.
both a fart and a poop joke.
Very true.
All right, gang. Have a wonderful evening. We're going to pass this party on to somebody else who's streaming some good hobby stuff for you tonight. So show some love in the chat we wind up in, and we will catch you back here on the flip side.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.